We are online. We are here. So welcome to Keep Stream Skip. I'm with Juliana and Samantha. My name is Nick. We have our we just posted actually our Thanksgiving episode because it's just been a while. Yeah. But we're down to the Christmas. So we have 3 Christmas films today. The first one is something I saw in the theaters back in 1994. And actually, the first film I ever saw in the theater was Christmas. It was National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
The first film I ever saw was, oh my gosh, now I can't think of the name of it. That horror film with Bruce. I can't even think of it.
Okay.
Let's just all wait
I See Dead People.
Oh,
The Sixth Sense.
My mom brought me to that when I was an infant.
How old is Haley Joel Osment? Because he's been on
was
What
he
We Do in the
in
Shadows.
this film that we watched today? Was he that little boy?
Yeah, he was that little boy.
What?
Wasn't
The little boy.
That little
Haley,
boy?
In Sixth
that little
Sense?
boy. Well,
No,
yes. No,
yeah,
in this movie.
No.
The one that was like, look up on the
No.
building. That wasn't Haley Joel
No, because he
Osment?
was he was a small kid
yeah,
in
that's
The
true.
Sixth Sense. This
Which
is
was 99.
Yeah, but this is 94. He would have
Yeah.
been at least 10, 12. He would have been a teenager almost.
No. What?
He was like-
This was before that.
Look up. Yeah, I know. Look
Yeah.
up Sixth Sense and
He
how
was-
old he was there.
How old was he in the He had to have been. He was
Well,
a
He was like,
How old?
yeah, he was like 8
well,
years
if you
older.
think about it,
than
like
he
how old?
And this is before that.
Yeah, he
Like,
wasn't he wasn't a baby going look up there. That was a kid. Like
That was 99. That was 5 years. If
Yeah.
he was like
yeah.
8, he would have been like 3 or 4. So
Was it
that
a
would have
3
been
or
accurate.
4-year-old? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, he is.
He is? No way.
It is. Yeah.
Yes.
See, you proved you wrong.
Oh,
I
really?
thought you were calling him a
He was
prude
born in
for
1988.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All right. You know, he was really good in Blink Twice.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah. I got to buy that film. It's really good.
Was it?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
All right. Do we want to?
All right. Well,
start
good
off
for
with the
you
date?
guys. I didn't know it was Haley Joel Osment was there pointing at the tree. I'm like, there's no
It's
way.
like, that looks like the baby.
Oh.
All right. So today is December
8th. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
2024.
Yeah, it's December. Did we say it in the last episode? I don't think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Mm-mm.
No.
Did we not?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think we did the last 2 episodes.
Oops. You fucked up, Samantha. You should have told.
Womp, womp. Yeah, that
You're supposed to be the
is
date
on
person.
You.
Damn it. Okay.
Add another to the list. We need to have a visual tally on the wall now.
Yeah. Well, she owes us 3 cool cats. The way he's like.
Cringe. No.
Well, then don't owe us anything. You won't get a cool cat.
Shit.
As long as we don't have to get cool cat tattoos.
I mean,
okay.
here's the thing: is she's already. That's tempting, actually.
You said that, and I was like, "Ooh, for the bit."
I'll put it.
Wouldn't that be so?
At least a
funny?
rub-on tattoo where it just says "Daddy" and then a cool cat little
Derek.
face right there. No, I'm not going to put Derek on there. What are you talking about, man? Man doesn't know me. Anyways,
Oh, geez.
so it's Christmas films.
And we're a couple of nuts.
Yeah, so we got Mixed Nuts. That's my pick for the start off. And Mixed Nuts is just a crazy film.
dark comedy.
It's a dark comedy made in 1994, as you could probably tell from all the discussion over Haley Joel Osment. But the writers are Nora Ephron and Delia Ephron. Very, I mean, they got a ton of stuff to their name. And we have director as well, Nora Ephron. She did things like Sleepless in Seattle and, You've Got Mail. So,
Ooh, okay, yeah.
yeah, really good at writing solid 90s films. Like, yeah, I forget what modern stuff she's done, though. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Anyways, more modern. I don't know. I think has she passed away yet? I think she did. I shouldn't say
No.
yet, but
Yet.
Yes.
Is she dead already?
You're counting the days.
No, she's not.
you
dying.
dead yet, man? So I can collect your stuff. No,
She's still alive.
It's probably just because like a lot of the actors that we've grew up with are passing away.
passing away. Yeah,
Nope. She did.
I knew.
She
I thought
died
so.
in 2012.
Yeah. That's what I was like. I remember hearing that she passed away, and I was like, oh,
That was a long time ago.
yeah.
It looks like the most recent one that I know of would be Julie and Julia.
Okay, yeah. So it stars Steve Martin, Rita Wilson. If you don't know Rita Wilson, she's been in things like Jingle All the Way, and also is Tom Hanks' wife. Madeline Kahn, God rest her soul. She was amazing, but unfortunately, she only did a handful of things afterwards before passing away from ovarian cancer. Adam Sandler, Anthony LaPaglia, which you might, not LaPaglia, I'm sorry, LaPaglia. Don't punch me in the face, Anthony. He's most noted for Without a Trace on CBS.
So I married an axe murderer.
Was he on that too?
Yeah, he was his best friend.
Yeah, that's right. He was the detective.
Yeah.
He was so good in that. Yeah, Juliette Lewis is in there as well. You might have known her from also National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation as the one daughter. And Liev Schreiber as his cinema debut.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he knocked it out of the park, in my opinion.
Yes.
You also have Gary Shandling, who has already passed on. He plays the landlord. And just to let you guys know, we do have spoilers. If you don't, this is your first episode listening, please listen to the past episodes. But we do have spoilers. We try to give trigger warnings where possible. Since this is a dark comedy, it deals with everything from suicide to a very, very fast and faint mention to the fact that the serial killer that's at large, the Seaside Strangler, is a rapist. But there is no, serious nod really much to that. It's really just...
it was like a mentioned one.
Yeah. If you're sensitive to suicide, you might want to skip this film. But otherwise, it is going to make comedic references to it.
Question really quick.
Sure.
The guy who played the landlord.
Yes.
Is he the guy that was in that episode of Friends that Rachel goes on that horrible date with?
Probably. Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
No, but
one that Joey and Phoebe set them up on horrible dates, and she gets set up with the guy who won't stop crying.
No.
And then Ross gets stood up, and then it was their ploy to get them to get back together.
I should check out Gary Shandling. See if Friends. Plug Gary Shandling and Friends. While she's doing that, I'm going to give you a quick little overview on a couple things. One, this is rated PG-13. You can find this film on Peacock, streaming right now for the holiday season. And the budget was $15 million. It had a lot of competition. It had, did I write it down? I know it had the Santa Claus. It had the Ref.
Street.
Oh, yeah, Miracle on 34th Street. Let's see, Santa Claus, Miracles on 30. What is it again?
34th Street.
34th Street. I didn't see the film. The Ref. That was, I know, a very popular one. That had, oh God, what's his name? He was in the Thomas Crown Affair as the one detective. I'm looking right at him right now. Golly. Anyways, comedian. Was in that one firefighter show, whatever. But anyways, that lot of competition. So the budget was $15 million, and it only made 6.8, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of stuff. Interestingly enough, this movie was inspired, or perhaps we could... Oh, here it is. The Ref, the Santa Claus, Miracle on 34th Street, and Trapped in Paradise. It was the fifth and final Christmas film of the year, Mixed Nuts. So I had it written down here. The other...
So people were already Christmased out.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Plus, it's like... it's not like...
It's not family friendly.
It's Southern California, too. Mm-hmm. So there's a... I mean... It all depends. I went to see it because I was like, this is cool. I was still living in California though. But yeah, so very cool stuff. Did you find out?
No, it was not the same guy. It's this John Lovitz dude.
Oh, yeah, John Lovitz?
That's who I thought it was. I just couldn't remember his name.
Yeah, they looked kind of similar, so they do.
Not all white people look the same. John Lovitz and Gary Shandling. If you want to email Juliana, you can go ahead and do so at keepstreamskip@gmail.com.
Tell me I'm right.
And tell her what the difference is between these two comedians. One is still alive, for one.
For sure. Okay. They look similar. What can I say?
One starred in The Critic, the show that lasted for a while.
And he had like a bunch of bit parts on other things.
One has hair. The other one is balding. That's a major difference. Let's see.
Oh no. I went to type in Gary Shandling so I could save 2 photos to like put them next to each other to see if I'm crazy. And I accidentally typed gay Shandling. I got some really good pictures.
Nice.
Merry Christmas. You're telling me he doesn't look like even a little bit?
No.
Okay.
Me and Samantha.
Okay.
No. But we grew up with these dudes, so, you know.
All right. Well, you know, I'm so sorry. Moving on.
Yeah. Let's get to the movie.
I'll
the
take
actual
a defeat
movie,
on that.
what they're actually here for.
Yeah. Not this random
So if
debate.
you are first tuning into the show, we go over
You
things
already
like
said that.
I didn't say the screenplay, direction, acting, and all the things we go over. Thank you very much, Miss Interruptus.
Interrupting cow. No.
What?
I was waiting for her to be like, interrupting cow, and I start again. She just goes, shut the fuck up. What kind of interrupting cow is this? Shut up, bitch.
All right, you're going to have to do that at some point during the podcast when nobody's expecting it.
Shut the fuck up.
You uncultured twat.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. That's what I was waiting for. I was like, uh-oh.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Okay, so we review things such as screenplay, direction, acting, cinematography, editing, and special effects, and then we give an overall score, and eventually we give you, regardless of that score, whether we would keep it, stream it, or skip it, and a couple of fun facts and so forth. So let's go ahead and start it off. So in this this movie, this is actually based off of, or I guess you could say a rewrite of, the French film Santa Claus is a Stinker back in 1982. Yeah. So I know why it's called Mixed Nuts. Now, the reason why this film is called Mixed Nuts, if you haven't seen it, is basically you have a bunch of folks who are nutty in their own way. They all got problems. And what you open up to is, a couple fighting. Down the street, one's pregnant, played by Julia Lewis, and the other by Anthony LaPaglia, who is the father of the child. And he is sort of recently out of jail. And she is just done with his shit. He's an artist who's a wall artist who has never painted a wall.
And they're about to have a baby, and of course, like, money's tight, so that kind of adds fuel to the fire, to say the least.
Yeah, not to say she isn't fucking insane.
Right.
Yeah. And she owns and operates this, I guess you could say, a consignment store of sorts of clothing and so forth that's like repurposed.
Yeah.
But she's really good at picking things for people. And so you open up to that, and then lo and behold, you have 2 people on roller skates played by Jon Stewart and Parker Posey. And I totally didn't know, and I've seen this film multiple times, that I was like, okay, I saw Parker Posey. Yeah, there she is. Didn't catch Jon Stewart any of those times until this time around. He barely gets any face shots there. This is before The Daily Show.
Right.
And if you don't know Jon Stewart, Daily Show, and a bunch of other movies and so forth, like Big Daddy with Adam Sandler, which Adam Sandler's in this as a kooky guy that lives in this apartment building, which also supports certain businesses like
the Suicide Hotline.
Yeah, what was the name?
Lifesavers.
Lifesavers.
They had like a life preserver on their door as their wreath.
Probably because they didn't want to get in trouble with Lifesavers, the company, so they had to make sure to put something that shows Yeah. So this all goes down, and Steve Martin, riding on his bike, going to work, runs into these folks, and then eventually goes to work in this building where you have the coworker Rita Wilson and Madeline Kahn, and they all are kooky in their own way, whether it be because of shyness or uptightness or hang-ups or whatever. And there's way too many to list with all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Like taking responsibility for their actions is Steve Martin, and trying to shoulder all the issues at the same time. Very much Steve Martin. And then lo and behold, Gary Shandling, the landlord, has put in eviction notices for everybody in the building because he's going to repurpose the whole place
for condominiums.
Yeah.
Which was a very prominent theme in the 90s, if you think about that.
It still kind of is. If you think about it, everybody's, even down. So yeah, real estate's still a problem.
Yeah, landlords are still the enemy.
Yep, we'll get into that later.
Dun dun dun.
So so it goes on to some jokes here and there where you get to know the characters. Steve Martin seemingly is the responsible one, is trying to hide the eviction notice from his two coworkers because he doesn't want to ruin their Christmas.
Yeah.
Because they're doing this all on Christmas Eve into Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And they're trying to field all these phone calls, and none of them are truly suicides except for one.
Oh my God.
And the guy kills himself over the phone because she thinks there's a bad line. And she's like, oh, just click it. Click it. Well, he clicks the revolver.
Yeah.
And all you hear is on the other side, bang. Played by a comedian.
Oh,
by the way,
dear.
that guy.
Which comedian?
I can't remember his name, but he's known for this. Like, I spilled some ink on my dog, so I called him Spot. He has like that really long, hey, how's it going? I remember I did it. Like his whole spiel is just talking monotone.
I think my favorite call-in was the lurker, kind of like the hey.
Oh,
the
guy
reoccurring guy that's trying to hit up
Right.
like, the women.
Yeah, the sexual
Yeah.
deviant where he's like, oh, who is this?
Who's this? Is this a woman?
This Pepe Le Pew
Is
sound.
this a woman?
Yeah. I want to put it in you. I want to test your cherry.
And actually,
Give me the woman.
but let me preface it. Let me talk a little more about that because the reason why I like it is because he did get what was coming to him when what was Madeline Kahn's
Oh,
name?
Mrs. Munchnick.
Mrs. Munching like turned the tables on him, and she's like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's do this."
I've
And then
been
he's
waiting
like,
for this
"Oh,
call my
no."
entire life. And you
You're
were just about to talk
old.
about my cherry? Click. Well, my talents are ruined. I can't find- It's so good. It's
I'm
so good.
at my job.
Yeah, there's physical comedy in this. There's all sorts of different
There's a
jokes
lot
that
of
are
good
thrown in there.
one-liners,
A lot of
for sure.
one-liners. Too many to list, but essentially we have a problem with the eviction that eventually lands the fact that what is really Wilson's character again? It was Catherine. Thank you.
Catherine.
Yeah. Oh, and Steve Martin also was set to be married, but is no longer. Susan and him are on the outs. She broke up with him, but Catherine has had a
crush on
smoldering lust for Steve Martin's character, as according to Mrs. Munchnick. And she said as an insult, like, smoldering lust. She just wants to rip off your clothes.
She's
And
like
he's
the
like,
office
"Oh,
Karen for sure.
oh, really?"
Yeah.
Again, it turned
Oh.
the tables. She turned the tables on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, and one of the phone calls is played by Liev Schreiber named Chris, who is a trans woman in 1994. And what's crazy and great is there is an emphasis back then, before we even knew about like correct pronouns or any of that stuff. There was an emphasis on making sure that the pronoun that was used correctly. And I was like, oh man, I didn't even notice that before. I just kind of went with the flow.
Right. And then
Highly progressive film.
And then you also mentioned that like the family that we see Chris with is like so open and loving towards her. And like, and what was the way that, how did you say it? Like
they're comfortable with who she is, and like they're like, oh hey, Arnold Schwarzenegger, why don't you put up the star, because she's a tall, muscular person. And so it wasn't like a slight. It was like, come on, be included. We love you. But she is not like them. They're very, very like, they look like a normal Norman Rockwell painting of sorts. But that's just who they are. But they're very accepting. But she wants to be around people like herself. And so when she gets into the mix of the nuts that are there, she feels more at home.
Right.
Even dancing at one point with Steve Martin, who doesn't know how to treat her at all.
And then she grabs his butt.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite was the interactions between Lewis, Adam Sandler's character, and Chris, because Adam Sandler was just like, I'm going to sing a song about you.
Yeah.
It was the same song.
He has like a puppy love thing for every girl he meets.
But it was the same song.
It was the same
It
song.
actually reminded me of my favorite movie. It's called Pillow Talk. And the guy is a songwriter, and he writes the same exact song for all the women. And like each woman, he's like, you are my inspiration. Juliana, you are my inspiration, Samantha. So yeah, that kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah, that's cute. He might have been my favorite. It was a tie between him and Gracie because every time Adam Sandler was I felt like he was just Adam Sandler, you know?
Right.
He's just strumming on his ukulele, singing in a weird voice and being goofy. And then I really liked Gracie's line delivery throughout the whole thing. Like she was just insane, but she just had like the best line delivery of her shit.
Yeah, yeah. So, so I kind of got mixed up in everything because there's so much that goes on. But at one point, Julia Lewis's character, she is just like, I'm done. I'm going to go see what my friend's up to. And
Gracie?
Gracie. Gracie tries to figure out what's going on with Catherine. She was trying to call her. She knows she works at a suicide hotline, and she's mad that she's always on the phone.
You're always on the phone.
Yeah.
You're always talking.
No, that's my job.
And finally, when she does answer, she's like, well, I'm coming over there. And she's like, great. Just watch out because the elevator is stuck.
Oh, yeah, with
Madeline Kahn in there.
And she
Mrs.
was so
Munchnick.
funny. And I could see myself doing what she was doing. Like she had like, for
Little
some reason, like a
toys.
little toys
Yeah.
and just playing at them and like a little microphone and just singing the song. Like,
Yeah, she's trying to rap it. Puts on a beat.
Get me out.
Hey! Let me out!
Yeah. There's also the theme introduced from the beginning about I always wanted to call him the Scranton Strangler because that was, from The Office.
Oh, yeah.
With the
seaside.
Yeah, the seaside strangler.
Because you strangled them with kelp. Where they had the kelp.
Well, they had like the
No, they
fishing
had, like,
line,
fishing line,
and
but
then
then
he
with
had
the
put
kelp.
kelp on them, so it was like they got caught in the sea or something. Maybe he was just
Yeah.
like he was against overfishing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe they went to his lighthouse.
Stole
Bark.
his light. And stole the light.
Bark like a dog.
Oh, it's horrible in that context.
Yeah, especially
It's horrible in actually any context, really.
Yeah, because it's like he has a thing.
Yeah.
Like he has a thing for a specific type of woman who is very attractive, brunette hair down to her shoulders, and all this other stuff. And all the women that are afraid. One of which that called in, they were like, "Oh, so you're not suicidal? No, I'm just afraid about the strangler. Well, do you have this hair? No. Are you very, very attractive? Like they're like, not particularly.
Really.
And you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, I think you're fine. And then she's like, well, she said she was depressed, so we're going to count it. Oh, man. And so they're down out without like enough money. They also were getting evicted. Madeline Kahn is stuck in an elevator eventually because she's trying to get to her family. And what you find out is, well, not really family. It's just
her widows.
exes. Yeah, people she knew because she married these guys and they died, which makes you wonder about her.
Was there guys?
Yeah,
there
plural.
Was just one.
That was plural, apparently. I thought.
Reminds me of Clue.
Yeah, like I was like, wait a minute, did she say multiple? Like, is she the seaside strangler? Like, it's like guys or something? But
She's like the Black Widow.
Yeah, but I think what was going on really is that she really wasn't trying to get to anybody because she makes it a thing like, I have places to be, and during this time when it's like, not really.
Well, I mean, you see those types of people now. It's like, oh, I got this. But then you realize they got nothing. And
Yeah.
it kind of makes you sad because then you're like, you could have like came over and hung out with me.
Yeah, exactly. Because everybody's there at the office, which is actually an apartment, definitely did not have a place to go. Nobody was going to anywhere.
Right.
They all belong together. They should really stick together. And you get that theme throughout the entire film through all these shenanigans and realizations and so forth. Eventually, Catherine does talk to Gracie. Gracie comes over, and Anthony LaPaglia's character, help me out here.
Felix? No.
Well,
I don't know who.
Felix.
Yeah, Felix.
Yeah.
He eventually goes over there. They get in a fight again because she's just trying to stay away from him.
Well, and then Madeline, and then I keep on calling
Munchnick.
Munchnick was like to Felix, like, "Oh, it could be yours." What?
Yeah, because he was in prison for 7 months, or I should say, a jail. So he's like, "Wait a minute, is this true, Gracie? Is this true?" She's like, "No, it's not true." And then, like, Mrs. Munchnick is actually just trying to use the restroom.
Right.
Somehow a fruitcake gets in there from being carried left and right. And so Gracie takes the fruitcake in the tin can and slams it against Felix's head, concusses him, causes him to bleed, which then takes Catherine and Steve Martin's character over to
The
vet, played by
Yes.
Rob Reiner, who is helping them out with stitching him up. But then
He takes dog tranquilizers.
yeah, Felix is so depressed over everything, he decides to swallow a bunch of dog tranquilizers, to which then they start dunking and waterboarding his head because that's the thing to do.
Yeah, what? And my favorite thing was that Catherine was arguing with Steve Martin.
Yeah.
You see him being like dunked in the background. She's like, while she's arguing, she backs up like she's going to go help, and she just keeps dunking while having a conversation still.
Yeah.
I was like, legit, where did this guy get his degree? What is happening?
And then they end up dumping him off to get his stomach pumped over at the hospital. The other two split off, Catherine and Steve Martin. And Steve Martin ends up being back at the office, but not before Madeline Kahn ends up bonking her head because she's back at the office because she really doesn't really have much to do.
Right.
Gracie's back there still.
Opens the door for...
Well, she gets knocked out for some reason, and then
the door
because Mrs. Munchnick didn't know, like, who the hell, when she finally awoke, who the hell Chris was.
Right,
Yeah.
because like Chris came over.
Are you a seaside strangler?
Hits her head.
The power's going in and out. It's now almost nighttime. Pretty much is.
Chris is just hanging out. Her and Steve Martin dance. Munchkin wakes up. That's not her name. Munchnick wakes up.
Munchkin.
Starts like
Mrs.
freaking
Munchkin.
out and was like, ah.
Yeah, because like Steve Martin and her just dancing.
Right. And she was like, just waking up from being knocked out.
Yeah.
So your brain, I mean, like I could see like her making that connection just.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
what's great about it is it wasn't because she was seeing him dance with a trans woman. It was because, is Catherine okay with this? Is Susan okay with this? And da-da-da. And
Womanizer.
Yeah. It had nothing to do with because you would think, older woman, whatever, she must be shocked at what she was saying, but it wasn't that.
It was shocked at the fact that he was quote unquote cheating on
Susan. Yeah, because he was trying to keep it close to the vest. And obviously all these facts come out. Somehow Catherine, Steve Martin, Gracie, bringing in Chinese food with Catherine, all come back into the place. It's now, and then Steve Martin pisses off
Eve,
Chris.
by the way.
Yeah, pisses off
Yeah.
Chris. Chris leaves, and Madeline Kahn's character leaves as well. So now it's just Catherine, Gracie, and Adam Sandler's character, who saw them coming up the stairs, went with her because Catherine's like, sure, come on with me, because I think she kind of knew that he would be jealous, like Steve Martin's character.
right.
And so they all go up there. Now, Catherine is now wearing a nice dress because Gracie wanted to make her feel better. So Steve Martin sees Catherine come in, and he's like, ooh, hey. So they're all having Chinese food, but then Adam Sandler wants to sing that song, and it's just because Catherine's like, ooh, hey, well, you never had someone sing to me before. You're so cool. Da, da, da. And he's just like, who ate all of the water chestnuts out of the noodles? And so eventually Catherine is kind of sliding over towards Steve Martin's side because he touches her shoulders at one point for whatever reason. Actually, it's something very benign, but she's just like, ooh, his touch. And then the guy comes back because he leaves the hospital.
Felix
Comes back, And
With a gun.
now he's got a gun. He's like, you're going to take me back, because he is out of his mind on dog tranquilizers,
Right.
which is what's making this not seem as abusive. He's just he comes in barking first.
Right.
So, he's completely out of his mind, not because this is something he would normally do, even though he is a crazy guy in the first place.
Right.
But the dog tranquilizers have definitely taken their effect. So he's there completely high out of his mind. And
With a loaded gun.
shoots
Yeah.
one in the ceiling.
Shoots two in the ceiling.
Two. Well, is it one or two?
No, it's two. He originally shoots one, and
Yeah.
then when he's like walking around, he boom does another.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
So they're all like, whoa, and then because Chris forgot her cape, she comes in
She comes
first.
back.
Yeah, she comes in first. I'm
Right.
gonna grab my cape. Then Felix comes in. Then all this other stuff happens. But eventually, a little bit of a skinned toe from a shot goes
And
on.
they
to
get
Chris.
they get the gun away from Felix, but it was Gracie who got it, and she's like, I gotta empty the gun, and normal people just like open up the chamber or whatever. She like shoots three.
She just keeps shooting.
She just keeps shooting.
Bang, bang.
And eventually she shoots it through like the door, the front door. Well, I guess their apartment door or whatever.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, on the other side
The landlord.
was a
Landlord.
landlord.
That they
Yeah.
had called way earlier.
Yeah, to fix the elevator. So he ends up being dead, and they all kind of scramble.
And of course, like in that instance, if you would have just called the police and said, hey, by the way, because it was an accident, would there have been inquiries? Yes.
Yeah.
But, all in all, a pregnant woman doing something crazy, pregnant women have gotten off on murder.
All right, this ain't Chicago.
I was like, even in Florida, that's a hard sale. Like,
Anyway, so they decided to hide the body.
yeah, they hide the body by taking the tree that's there, cutting it up, and making the landlord look like a Christmas tree. Meanwhile, Catherine and Steve Martin's character are in the bathroom because she went into shock after seeing the body, and things
He
get
helped
heated.
her.
Yeah. Things get heated. So they decide to have sex in the bathroom.
Well, all this is going on, and I don't even know if they closed the door or not.
They did.
They did.
Oh, okay.
At least they're decent.
Yeah. Oh, and Madeline Kahn had a nervous breakdown, decided to have sex on the beach with the guy who loves his dogs, even
Right.
though she hates dogs, but she actually kind of had a crush on the guy, which she didn't know until that point.
Right.
And
I mean, she came around at the end,
yeah. Well, I don't think she truly hated the dogs. I think it was like that's the only excuse she had.
Right.
And then the
So then they decided not to leave the body in the apartment.
right,
because
they're
that would be
gonna take
suspicious.
Oh, yeah, they're gonna wrap it up in the Christmas tree.
right, and then take it to the boardwalk and just leave it and just be like, by the
don't
time they
know.
figure it out, it's going to be too late. And they're like, what about the bag you brought to repair the tree or repair the elevator? And they're like, well, someone will just steal it. It's not a big deal.
Right.
I mean, this is looks like Long Beach in California. I'm like, yeah, that's total. All those, that whole plan is actually legitimate. So they were like, okay, we got to be jolly. We got to be happy. So let's just go down there. So all 6 of them start singing and caroling.
Because at first they were like, well, we don't want to look very suspicious, so only a couple of us go. But then everybody like made an excuse why they need to go too.
Yeah.
AKA nobody wanted to be at the apartment alone.
Yeah. Nobody wanted to be alone on Christmas Eve.
Right.
And so
And they were like, let's not be suspicious. So they start Christmas caroling.
Caroling with the tree.
You know the episode of
Yeah.
Parks and Rec where they're like, don't be suspicious.
Yes,
Don't
yeah.
be suspicious.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they did.
Well, and then they meet up with Mrs. Munchnick and the dog walker.
yeah. And she's
the
like,
dog,
oh, that's,
not
what are you
walker,
doing
but
with our
guy.
tree? And they're like, that's not our tree.
She's
And
like, yes, it is.
look at, I remember that satin ribbon anywhere. And they're like, it's not our tree. So, but she's so happy. She's like, whatever, I'll carol with you. And she's doing like the most falsetto of anything. And then walking. Yeah, completely off lyric with everybody else. And there's like, whatever. And then the 2 people with the tree that they busted before at the beginning of the film are trying to grab another tree and roller skate down to put it up. And they're like, that's the tree hater. and causes them to toss the body up with the branches, and then right in front of an outdoor restaurant that also has indoor. And all this stuff happens. The police show up. The crowd gathers around, and they're all like, "Oh my God, what's going on?" So they all
You don't know anything.
Yeah, Felix is like,
No.
"Oh, it was me." I don't, da da da. Even though it was actually Gracie, because they don't want Gracie to go to jail, and then end up having to have the kid in the jail.
Right, because
So-
that was one of her excuses why she didn't want to call the police in the first place.
Yeah.
Is 'cause she didn't want to have the baby in jail.
Right.
Right. So he takes the pistol at one point because she's like, "It was me, it's me," and she pulls out the pistol. He grabs it from her and says, "No, it was me," and takes off. So the cops chase. He climbs up a sign and he threatens to commit suicide and say it was me the whole time, basically trying to button it up so it can never be her. They talk him down. And eventually they say, "Okay, everybody just sit down. Let's just try to sort out what actually happened," because everybody's giving all these excuses. Well, while they're doing that, they have the bag. They open up the bag and they find out the landlord the entire time was the Seaside Strangler. So they go up to Gracie and they're like, "Hey, by the way, did you actually do it?" And she's like, "Yeah," because and she's like,
She's
"Well,
like, take me away.
Finally,
Yeah.
finally, she was just like, you know what? I'm done with this. Yeah, I did it. Okay,
yeah."
fine.
And they're like, "Well, no, actually, congratulations, you killed the Seaside Strangler. You get $250,000 for a reward because it's dead or alive." And so she's like, "Wait, what? I'm rich?" And so they button that up. She ends up having the kid because she's jumping up and down, which ends up causing her to go into labor.
Which the vet has to deliver.
And then, the one guy,
The vet
Rob
has
Reiner,
to
was in
deliver
the
Her under the Christmas tree.
yeah, because he was at the outdoor restaurant at the time with the girl that you saw while he was at the vet's office
That one that with too many pillows.
with too many. Oh, that's right. You know that was reused in Along Came Polly.
Really?
Yeah, they
That
used
whole-
the whole spiel. Yep,
Really?
Mhm.
they stole it and used it. Unless he was in that film too. Was he in that film too? I think he may have been in that film too.
That would have been funny.
I don't know.
We won't count that. It vibrated. It went off.
I don't understand.
Ding ding. We won't count it though.
Wow.
I mean, like, I don't understand why my phone is vibrating. Everything is off.
So
I think that was me.
Trying to blame me again.
Oh, okay. Well, I did say I wouldn't count it, so.
Twas me.
It's pointing the finger.
You're always blaming others and not yourself. That's a line from the movie. So in the end, she gets to have her kid. It's delivered. Haley Joel Osment points at something.
Mommy, it's Santa.
Oh yeah, there you go. And then everything's wrapped up with a nice bow, just like a package. But what I liked about the end is that when he was trying to talk down Felix, Steve Martin's character, he was emphasizing the fact that during the holidays, all of your life is magnified. Everything,
All the highs, all the lows.
yeah, mostly low, but he really was like all the
Lows.
lows,
All the
lows.
lows.
Like how everything is like whatever sucks is going to suck worse, but it's okay. Just realize it's going to be okay.
You're going to get past it.
Yeah. And it really like, it doesn't try to do a religious kind of thing at the end, even though it's a Christmas film. It's more of a, hey, Christmas time really sucks. We all know it sucks, but let's have it suck together. Like, let's just be together. Just be around people you like. So it sucks a little
Or
less.
who get you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there you go. There is Mixed Nuts. So, what you think of the screenplay?
I gave it an 8.
Oh, I might be the outlier of this movie. I give it a 3.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I just thought it was all over the place. Like, it's one of those movies where it's supposed to be, and I understand that. But I don't know. It just didn't.
Was it like too over?
It was
all over the place that you couldn't keep really track of anything?
Yeah. I mean, like everything I could keep track, but I was just kind of like, why though? And I'm also just not a big
How much
fan
did you
of
give Immortal Instruments?
the Mortal Instruments.
Oh, Mortal Instruments. I'm
Mortal
sorry.
Instruments. Well, I
That's
don't
all right.
remember. I'll have to go look.
You gotta see the scale on what you're driving
But
here.
I also am not.
It's all right.
I personally do not like the whole slapstick comedy
type
type
I grew
of
up on
film.
that, so I love
yeah,
that,
it's just not my thing. So
What did
I
you
understand.
give
I
it?
have a personal bias.
I gave it a 6 plus 1 because they were able to keep it all together with all the different storylines. So overall 7 out of 10.
I kind of,
Yeah.
that's why I gave it an 8, because it was like it was all over the place, but you kind of it followed a certain order, unlike some of the other ones that we've watched.
The thing I didn't like was the cheese ball wrapping at the end. There was so like wrapped up so fast and easy. Like, hey, here's 250,000. Hey, here's this. I'm like,
hey, let's get married.
But it's a Christmas movie.
Yeah,
of course, everything has to be wrapped up at the end.
like it was wrapped up tighter than Hallmark would have done. And they're like, I don't know about that. Somebody would have went to jail. Like in Hallmark, we put somebody in jail.
Yeah.
Like,
Somebody should have gone to jail for sure.
especially in California where they were like, they don't let any of that stuff fly.
By the way, I gave Mortal Instruments a 5 out of 10. So honestly,
yeah,
not
I'm
much higher.
judging. I'm judging here. So,
All right, what about
You can
direction?
direction. I gave it a 10 out of 10 because everybody was acting great. Everything was exactly the way it's supposed to work. So, Nora Ephron, man, she's a legend.
Yeah, I gave it a 5. Again, it just didn't flow well to me.
I gave it an 8. There was just a few incidences that I thought it could go a little more. Like I would love to see a little more interaction between Chris and his family, or maybe like Chris and
True. Yeah, they really emphasized the theme at the time.
Right.
Yeah. Because there was several themes going on, like inclusivity and belonging and so forth.
Right.
Acting. We'll go with you first since we all
Since I'm trashing it, a 5.
Oh my God.
I thought it was too over the top.
Wow.
I know.
This is the one where I'm like, wait, I'm the one that usually is like the Scrooge.
Yeah,
like the
I don't know. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I thought it was too over the top.
Wow.
I gave it a 10 out of 10
Ooh.
because they acted the shit out of those crazy kooky roles.
Especially
It's
Liev Schreiber.
true.
Oh my God.
I did
he
love
And,
Liev
like,
Schreiber.
Yeah.
It takes a certain actor to do that. Because like you could do it like it wasn't cringeworthy either. Like there's
It
sometimes
wasn't cringy. It wasn't offensive or anything.
right. So that's why
very
I like
natural.
exactly. So change your score. No, just kidding.
No, I'm still
Wow.
standing by it though.
Wow. I gave it a 9 out of 10, and with the highlight with Steve Martin, I felt like that where I'm trying to keep shit together and it's just getting worse and worse. And then I'm breaking down where I'm just like, I'll get to it.
Yeah, you just felt like you were actually like you could relate to every single thing that was going on.
Yeah.
Their,
And Liev
like-
Schreiber, this being his debut cinema. Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Oh, yeah. Liev Schreiber
Amazing.
carried.
If we
for
gave out
sure.
awards, we'd have to, it's KSS, so I guess Kiss Awards, I'd be like, you get a kiss.
Yeah.
For this movie, Liev Schreiber gets a kiss.
There
Hey,
we go.
there you
That's
go.
what we
There you
do
go. Yeah.
next season.
Yeah, we'll give out Kiss Awards. And we'll send it right to him. We'll have to figure out where the hell they live.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or we could do it like end of the year as we review all the films we've gone over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, the Kiss Awards.
Yeah.
Kiss Awards.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, cinematography. I thought it was basic stuff, run of the mill, nothing bad, nothing great. It's 7 out of 10.
I
Yeah.
also did 7 out of 10.
I gave it a 5 because it was neither like extraordinary or
Yeah,
bad.
it's
So I
okay.
kind of gave it in the middle.
Yeah.
Give an extra point for the flying tree.
That under my special effects.
Which, by the way, man, talk about some strength. A full-grown man going up 10 feet in the air. Like, how
Yeah.
hard did you throw that dude?
Well, it wasn't
Yeah.
really. Was it really, or was it a really person in
No.
No.
I mean, they
But,
just
like-
stuck shoes on it so that way Gary Shandling didn't have to be a tree. So, I have to do what? A tree? What is
Where-
this, a play?
Where do you want my head?
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll give you
Yeah.
New Balances.
That's what it did feel like. It felt like one of the high school plays that I used to do with the over dramatized of everything.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I felt like that some of it I could relate to in real life, like
Yeah, dude.
stuff with that.
Yeah, dude. The arguing couple and this, that, and the other with Julie Lewis's character.
maybe wait another 20 years.
Yeah, maybe.
Do it again.
I'm a little concerned that Nick just brought up the couple.
Oh, I wasn't.
Oh,
I-
we always do that.
yeah.
Oh.
Not in front of people.
The last time I had to chase around the neighborhood, it was crazy. Samantha, honey, come on.
I'm just emptying the no.
Just randomly shooting. Oh God! Some poor guy with a PTSD is like. Editing, I gave 10 out of 10 for pacing. It went through very quickly, and nothing felt too long. Like at first, I was like, maybe the scene where they're getting along between Adam Sandler and Liev Schreiber's characters, but then I was like, no, it kind of needed that. So
No, I liked it.
yeah.
I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10 because there were some parts that I wanted to see a little more of, and then there was like obviously a couple more that I was like, and did we really need that?
Yeah. I did 7 as well for those reasons.
But I did need that guy on the phone.
Oh,
Oh my God.
I want to get your cherry.
What was it about my cherry?
I still like it. Put the slut back on the phone. Like, he just, so messed up. There was really no special effects that I could tell except for a little bit of shining on the star, but
The gunshots.
Well, I mean, like
gunshots.
The
the slow
crash.
the tree, I guess.
the window.
the
window.
crash.
I
like
think
the
they just
car.
broke up. I think they just straight up broke the window. I don't think they just got a car like break it.
I don't know.
I said 7.
I said 7.
I gave it a non-applicable. I didn't have enough to
okay.
go with except for that star
Oh,
at the end. I was
that's
like, meh. Because I mean, literally all they did was like, Dot, you got shot in the head, Gary. Or
Well, the
Jerry.
special effects too, like throwing up a person in the.
That was more of a cinematography thing, right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I
Either
don't know.
way, 7.
It's whatever. So
I-
overall, I gave it an 8.5
I
out of
give it
10.
an 8 out of 10.
And I said keep it. It's
We're just not gonna
Yeah.
say yours.
I don't,
Apparently,
No,
he
what-
doesn't care what I think.
I'll just read it from yours. 5 out of 10 is what Juliana said, and she didn't even put down keep stream
I
or
haven't
skip.
decided yet.
Oh,
I've been
okay.
mulling it over. I was going to
I
hear
s-
what y'all had to say.
Mulled wine.
I said keep it.
You said keep it?
Yeah, it's a great.
It's a great feel-good
Christmas
film.
movie.
Yeah.
Ah.
It reminds me of living back in California,
But
honestly.
it also reminds me too how my life's not actually that crazy.
No,
It makes me
no.
feel better. Too.
It's better to be in the mixed nuts than it is to be in those normies.
Yeah. I think I might skip it.
Okay.
Yeah. It didn't add anything to my life.
Okay.
Well,
You
when we
would
get-
think even the speech about like how life is supposed to be precious and whatever. I don't know.
when we come
Is it
back,
that?
Toby will be sitting in for Juliana.
No, it's all right.
He's like, bark, 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 bark.
You're like, good thoughts? Good. Yes. Yes.
Just give him a treat every time he rates something the same thing as me. I give it 5 toe beans out of 10. So, all right. So, obviously
you come
we
back?
have a divisiveness here, but no, that's fine. I mean, there's been times where I was like, no.
I mean, that's
no.
what's
Yeah.
fun about this.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the whole point. It's a good thing.
They
It's a good
say,
thing.
and I won't be back.
Yeah. It's a tired joke. I got to stop using the same
Juliana,
old joke.
who?
Next time, yeah, next film is gonna be mine, and y'all are gonna be like, all right, what were your thoughts?
We're supposed to group think this.
Silence.
No. Oh, that's one thing I didn't say. Like, if you just tuned in to this episode, not the prior ones, we don't say what our ratings are until we record. So that way there's no influence. Obviously, there's no influence.
Right.
Obviously, they're like, whoa.
Like, I was shocked, but
I was shocked with y'all's scores, so you know.
I
hey.
mean,
did we watch the same film? No,
You've been
actually,
shocked
IMDb
before,
IMDb was about
so.
5 and 6, like around there, 5 to 6. A lot of people rated it
Out of
as.
10.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. So hey, I'm the normal here.
yeah, normie.
Yeah.
not
he
a
wants
mix-
to be normie though.
You're not a mixed nut at all.
No.
Get out of here.
I'm a pistachio. Come on, Cashew, let's go. What's their next film? Who's gonna? What are we
It's
doing?
yours.
Mine.
Last
It'll be
Christmas.
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas.
with Emilia Clarke.
I gave you my heart.
Exactly.
The
very
very
next
next day.
I can't remember.
What?
You gave it away.
Yes. This year. To
Uh,
save me from tears.
We're gonna
I'll-
stop
I'll-
singing to Nick.
I like
I'll
that.
give it to somebody special.
Okay. I was gonna.
I am
Obviously,
deeply
it's not you.
disappointed.
The thing is, like the George Michael song is a cool like song, and I hear it all the time. But I just, unless I hear it going, it doesn't
It's
go.
all right.
no.
Now you know how I feel
Well,
when
that's
you start
disgraceful
doing
to
that
his film that we're about to watch.
Is it George Michael or just some guy that's named George
Oh,
Michael?
I'm pretty sure it was actually written by George Michael.
Because you said Amelia Clark.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But George Michael passed away.
She started writing it in Emma Thompson started writing it in 2010.
Oh, Emma Thompson. Okay.
Emma Thompson
Wrote it. Well,
and George Michael.
Right,
He's
right.
accredited.
But Amelia Clark stars in it.
Yes.
Ah, okay. I was like,
Yes.
wait, she co-wrote it? I thought it was
No.
Emma Thompson.
Yes.
That's where I was getting confused.
Confusion.
All right, when we get back, we'll have
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas. Sorry, forgot the title again.
Damn it. Damn it, Nick. I stand by my decisions.
All right, we're back, and Juliana was about to say about her decisions that she stood by that George Michael wrote
No.
Last Christmas,
The song.
the song.
He sure did.
Yeah, for some reason, IMDb lists him as the first writer
Yeah.
when he had nothing to do with it, and it's not even the song. It's not even like the story
Right.
topic of the song. It's
I
just-
mean, they do play the song quite a bit.
Well, and it kind of
Oh, they play the hell out of George
Yeah, it
Michael in
just kind of
this.
have something to do with the song.
only-
And there's a lot of George Michael themes.
well, the
Right.
funny thing is like I've never had a soundtrack have so much of one artist since Overdrive
Lilo
with
and
AC.
Stitch.
What was Lilo and Stitch?
Elvis.
Elvis throughout the entire time?
Pretty much.
Because AC/DC was 100% AC/DC for Overdrive.
Oh.
It was ridiculous. It was a Stephen
Oh.
King thing. He was his only, well, no, I don't know if it was his only, but it was his first film that he directed, and he was coked out of his mind.
I love that.
Maximum Overdrive. That's what it was.
But it would
so.
be like accrediting AC/DC to Overdrive,
yeah.
writing it.
Yeah. That's what I
Which
mean.
is
Like,
it's wild. You don't do that. But, having known that Emma Thompson started writing it in 2010 before George Michael had died,
Yeah.
I just figured, I was like, oh, yeah, timelines match.
she had so much.
He didn't pass away until, 2016?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Something like that.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, that makes sense. He could have had a hand in writing it. He did not.
No.
And this is a 2019 film, so
Yeah.
Yes.
So she had plenty of time to think
Yeah.
about what she did.
Wait. What? She had 9 years.
9 years, and this is what she came up with.
Yeah. I liked it. I thought it was good.
What the hell, man?
What do you
that was
mean?
good too.
Yeah.
It's 6 Cents meets Hallmark. So why don't you go ahead and give us the synopsis?
See, I knew Nick was going to think it was Hallmarky.
Well, it's that and the fact that I was like in the middle of it, I'm like, if it fucking ends this way, I swear to God, I'm gonna tank the fucking score.
no, you said
No.
if it didn't end that
Yes.
way, you were going to tank the score.
Yes.
You straight up said
You
if
said
you
Oh,
didn't
that's
end
right.
it that
Turn
way.
out
Well, I
that
tanked it
way.
anyway, so
I
whatever.
knew you would.
I was gonna tank.
We knew you would. Yeah.
Should've
This
tanked
is
it.
why I
understand your
watched
bias.
If you're-
some movies by myself.
Yeah, this is why This is
Yeah.
why you weren't originally invited to Wicked.
Wicked was good.
I missed that one.
Yeah, Wicked was good. So, case in point, I watched All Quiet on the Western Front, the newest version on Netflix, because I knew you wouldn't want to watch it because it's hyper realistic war,
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
but it's a wonderful film. But yeah,
God help us when we get to our romance films.
I gave you guys 2 good romances, and she shat on one of them, and then you both like the second one because Pierce Brosnan. You guys didn't even give a
do love
shit
Pierce
about
Brosnan.
the fucking plot. You were just
I
like,
liked the
It was
plot.
a good plot.
I'm a
Oh,
good
okay.
heist fan.
mm-hmm,
Get out of here with that bullshit.
You're like, I wish I
Yeah.
could be Rene Russo.
I wish I could be either one of them, to be honest. And also,
Interesting, have you?
anyhow,
You like possess Pierce Brosnan, and you're like, wow, yes, a little hairier more than I thought.
what is in Scooby Doo when they switch bodies?
That's
I could look at myself naked.
Or the Harry Potter when everybody's polyjuicing and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like they
Oh,
just look
yeah.
down that one scene.
Oh my god, who did that?
I think it was the one Asian girl or
No,
what? Who was
I
it?
think it was Fleur.
Was it
Fleur?
Fleur?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody. There's like a
That's
quick
fucked
clip
up.
of them.
She's
looking
recently
down.
married,
Yeah, it was like you
and
had,
he's a minor.
but no, this is when he turned 18.
Still,
But
I guess she knew him in high school. but
You're a
still.
wizard now, Harry.
Look at that wand.
well, the funny thing is you have to really catch it because it's like really quick.
Oh yeah, it's almost
So-
like they were trying to squeeze it in there because they're like, "Hey man, let's do this joke and hopefully get away with it."
What if it wasn't a scripted joke and the actress just did that? But it's not the actress; it was Daniel Radcliffe.
That's true. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be great.
true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
so
Oh,
true.
damn! I
All right.
love him though. You've seen Swiss Army Man, right?
Not yet. I want to. I want to
All
see
right.
also the ones with the what's it? The hands, the guns are like nailed to his hand or something.
What?
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Excuse
in some. He loves crazy films because he made so much money off of Harry Potter. He can pretty much do whatever's interesting.
He sure
Yeah.
can.
And so he did that, and then he cracked this one joke, during a take, and they were like, "Yeah, only he could get away with that." And I forget what the hell it was. It was something during Harry Potter, but
Right.
it was funny. But anyways,
Anyhow,
Back
all
plot
right,
to
okay.
synopsis.
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas.
Christmas from 2019
Bang.
is a comedy romance
Comedy.
written not by George Michael.
George Michael from what was it? What's that show? Where he was actually named George Michael, the character.
Oh,
People
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development. Yeah,
Nice.
he was named George. That was that George Michael.
That guy. No, written by Emma Thompson back in 2010. Actually, she started writing it, and Greg Wise, and then directed by Paul Feig. Feig? I
Yep,
think
you
so.
got it. Paul Feig.
Nice, go me. With
Feig and
actors,
awesome.
Feig awesome, man. With actors such as Emilia Clarke, Michelle Yeoh, Henry Golding, and Emma Thompson herself as Mommy Dearest.
Yep.
And you can find it on Max.
Find it on Max.
Find it on Max. You better go find it on Max.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cute little Christmas movie.
Go on.
Yeah.
You're like looking at me like I'm gonna
So,
put it.
Yeah,
Start.
you know I'm really, really good with the synopsis. So yeah, I'll go ahead and start.
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
In 1999 in Yugoslavia.
Oh, yeah,
the
that
country
is
doesn't
exactly
exist
where it-
anymore.
Opens up.
Yeah, it's Slovakia now.
And you see the young
Kate.
singing, and she wants to be a singer like everybody in the 90s.
And
you know?
my question though is, did she actually want to be a singer, or was that mom projecting like she did with the other one, with the oldest child?
Katarina, if you sing, you can
Katarina.
get out of this horseshit of a country.
You sing
No, just
well,
kidding.
and then we move out of here. We live in 5-star hotel for the rest of our lives.
That's very deep. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyhow,
However, if you think about it though, like, yes, she was pushed. Yes, it seems like, when they were at the dinner table, whatever, I'm jumping ahead, I know.
right.
But she still kind of went out after the singing. Like, even when she went,
Yeah.
like, even at the end, she was singing.
It's true.
So,
I yeah, you're right. I think she did enjoy it. But we find out we have a time skip after her cute little concert, and she's working at
2 years later,
2 years later.
5 years. I don't know. They said something.
It's definitely
She went from
not
a little
that.
girl
She went from
to
a tiny
33-year-old
baby
woman.
to 26.
Or maybe like 10 years. I don't know.
Wow. Played by.
Okay, I'm not going to tell you a year.
I think it was like 16 years.
It's now 1968.
Anywho, she's 26 now. Let's say that. And she's working at a Christmas themed.
It's a Christmas
store.
store. Just
It's a
basically,
Christmas
yeah,
store.
giant Christmas store.
Sells
Run-
Christmas stuff all year long.
Yeah, my nightmare.
Yes, run by Santa.
I like Christmas,
Michelle
but not
Yeoh.
that much.
Yeah, not as much as Michelle Yeoh. I honestly,
Michelle Yeoh's awesome.
I love her so
Yeah.
much.
She's great. She's fantastic.
Mhm.
I remember seeing her first on Tomorrow Never Dies with again Pierce Brosnan. So.
Here's the thing: on my list of movies for us to watch is Everything Everywhere All at Once,
Oh, okay.
which we need to watch because Michelle Yeoh is fucking fantastic.
Mhm.
Anywho, continuing. Yes.
Established.
So, so then we see her in her little selfish phase where she's jumping from couch to couch because she doesn't have a stable place to
Yeah.
live.
Not just
She-
couch. What
What?
was that saying
Bed
they
to
made?
bed.
Nailed to the dick.
Nailed to the dick.
I'm like,
I will nail you to my dick.
yeah.
Yes.
Like, well, she was happy to be on that, right? Yeah,
Right.
For a little
Well,
bit.
I
for a
mean,
little bit.
you notice, she's super selfish. She
Right.
goes to bars, gets shit-faced, brings random guys home. And by home, we mean other people's homes.
Patient zero.
Right.
Her best friend's nursery.
Oh my God.
God, that
Her-
is so skeezy. Like, I mean, after Samantha corrected me on that, I was like, oh wait, shit.
Yeah,
no,
Yeah.
there's no redemption arc that is like,
Yeah.
oh,
She
Well-
kills one guy's fish, a lionfish of
yeah.
all.
Right.
She
And
shouldn't even
then
have that anyway.
She
No,
wakes
it's
up
illegal.
in somebody else's apartment to find out he's married.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's, like, in
Which
the shower.
honestly, that one's not her fault.
Yeah.
No, it's
that was
not.
not her fault.
Not, yeah. Especially when
But-
he was like so slick with everything. I'm like, dude, this guy has done this before.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh
Let
yeah.
me go make you breakfast.
Yeah, here's a cappuccino.
Here's my famous beet
Why don't you go
smoothie.
take a shower? I'm gonna go do whatever.
Honey,
Yeah.
I'm home early.
She definitely has a type, skinny, greasy.
Skinny
Yeah.
greasy.
So she
for
brought
sure.
in 2 skinny, greasy guys. Was there 3? Was it 3? 2? 2?
3.
Two.
Well,
Three.
we see the third one with the fish in the background.
What?
What?
The third guy.
What's the third guy?
With the fish?
Yeah.
The guy that I'm pretty sure the guy whose fish she killed was a friend.
Yeah, I
of
thought that was a
hers.
friend.
Oh.
Yeah, she was crashing at
Yeah.
his
I just
place.
thought-
That's why at the end of the
The
movie
maker-
she brought him
Oh.
the fish to apologize.
That's the thing that was so
Oh, okay.
weird. Not to
I was
jump off the
confused.
synopsis or anything, but what was weird is the fact that they kind of did back to back to make you feel like she's always sleeping with somebody almost every fucking night, and then it's like, oh wait, no, we're gonna turn off that. I'm like, ooh, whiplash. So
I think it was just to establish that she sleeps with people a lot.
And she's selfish and
Yeah,
doesn't think of anybody else but
Right.
herself
exactly.
and her pleasure.
Which is why almost off the bat she leaves the store to go to her audition, and she leaves the door open,
Yep.
which leads to
Unlocked.
a
Break-in.
break-in, which then Santa has to break into her own store to make it look like a break-in so she can get any insurance money back.
played by Michelle Yo Ho Ho Ho.
That's so good.
So, like when Kate established Santa and she's like, "Your name's really not Santa," I was like,
She's also stupid as shit.
Yeah,
Like-
she's not
"Yeah."
bright.
And then she's like,
She's not merry or bright.
Hey, we might as well establish as many puns as possible because this whole fucking thing is based on a pun. Ugh.
It's
"When I worked
We
in
liked it, though.
a pet store, I would name was Kitty."
Kitty.
When I worked in a
bakery,
bakery.
my name was Muff.
Incoming smokers.
Gosh,
Munch on my muff.
munch on my muff, which is freaking honestly hilarious. The interaction between the two, where Amelia was
Right.
like, right. Moving on.
All right, so she's down on her luck.
Oh man.
Things are going shitty. A bird poops in her eye,
Half
and
of
that's
it's
the
her fault.
catalyst.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But she meets this guy, and this guy is super,
Right up.
like,
Feels like the audience.
major green flag.
Right.
Right.
I mean, as a distrustful person, sometimes though, I was like, okay, what is really going on?
Right. You guys were immediately distrustful of this man, which I thought was fucking hilarious because the amount of times we've given out green flags to guys who are just like the exact same kind of person is
But there was something weird about him.
he didn't have a phone.
and he
was
didn't have a
quirky.
place.
We don't see a lot of quirky men.
We're millennials. We're distrustful of anybody off the street.
Yeah.
I'm out the Salvation
me-
Army here. Ding, ding. Fuck off. Where's that money going, bitch?
Let me take you to a
How do you
alleyway.
use it? I want to see a breakdown
It
of your
was
fucking pay
cute.
structure.
It was romantic. God, this is why I'm
It
going to get
was.
murdered, huh?
I don't know.
I can see the future.
We'll have a memoriam on the podcast.
So let's
We'll go
play
over
back the
all your
episode.
You're
shit.
going to have to watch Mortal
no.
Instruments.
What
We're
we'll
just gonna get
do
your
is
papers
we'll,
like, it's not that bad. Look what she gave this rating for on this movie. I
Nick,
mean,
I'm gonna
What we'll
haunt
do
you.
is take audio clips from
we'll put your heart in a jar and just stuck it there so you can haunt
like
that or
audio
something.
clips from what she has said in the past about like, I'm not distrustful.
Remember when she said that and now she's dead? Oh my God.
That'd be so horrible.
That would be so fucked up.
Shitty.
On her gravestone it just says, "Why are you guys so distrustful?" And be like,
Case.
Would we really
Number
do that?
one.
No.
we'll
At
take
least
a field trip with kids and be like, "This is why." This is why, kids. Don't do
is
this.
why. A moment of silence for my future poor choices.
Well, it was a choice that
It
you
was
made.
a choice.
All right.
Anywho,
So
where are we at?
We are at Michelle Yeoh breaking in and
Yes.
like the
Yes.
break-in.
She meets
And
the
then
guy.
she meets
She's pissed, obviously, because she had to
Michelle Yeoh's pissed.
break the window to make
Right.
it seem like it's so technically
She's-
insurance fraud.
Yes, it is.
well,
and
she even said it.
yeah, she's
Yeah.
like, you made me a fucking criminal. at this point.
Which is weird because, I mean, if you're robbed, well, it depends. Her policy is kind of shit. I mean, I've never heard of somebody saying, "Oh, it won't pay because I had an unlocked door." They still were entering.
I feel like that's
illegal.
negligent, though.
Yeah, because
maybe there's a policy where it caps it.
Well,
if
if you
you're
think about
negligent.
it, though, like we were making fun of the people down the street when they left their door unlocked and it got robbed, supposedly.
Well, we left our garage door open and we never got robbed, and that was an accident. We went to like a Thanksgiving vacation and we came back with the door open. Nobody stole a thing. And these guys down the street were fucking saying they had somebody broke in their car and there's like no evidence, no anything taken, no video, no anything. I'm like, the fuck you smoking?
Hey, what's the statute of limitations on thievery?
Usually, like,
I don't know.
I don't know, but like 7 years.
Okay, so I would like to share a story.
Probably wouldn't because it's state to state.
Yeah,
No,
it really depends.
Allegedly,
Allegedly, as a child, I perhaps broke into somebody's house because I thought they were home and I was going to go play with them, and I knocked at the door. Allegedly,
again, she did what now? As how old? And then she's still alive.
I was 10 years old, and
so just 10 years ago.
This was on a military base, so I was safe.
Oh, sure,
maybe.
Sure.
Did you turn the handle? Did you turn the door and it opened, or did you like climb through the window?
No, I like turned the door and it opened. And
then
I
that's not breaking and entering because
that's just trespass.
Yeah,
that's just
because I went in. Well, yeah. Anywho,
still a cookie.
I stole their gum.
Oh, they're coming after
they
you.
They had the bubble yum, whatever, like the really like good gum. I don't think they make that gum anymore.
Bubble yum? I thought they do.
No, there was like a specific.
They don't make Fruit Stripe anymore.
No,
there's like I haven't seen it anymore. It's not like the tape, you know. It's like the chunk gum. It was like a chunk of fruity bubble yum.
I think you're right.
Yes.
Yeah,
and I don't think they make that anymore.
My mom would never buy that for me.
It was so good.
It was so
good enough to allegedly break into homes to eat.
Allegedly, I stole bubble yum from the store.
Yeah.
When I was like 10. You're stealing it from houses.
I mean, I was in college. And
Allegedly.
I won't even, you know.
I was a child. This could have been a dream.
Allegedly.
So.
Anyway.
After the break-in, she talks to her, pissed off, still gives her a chance because she believes in her.
I'll give you one more chance.
Right. Heartfelt. You used to be a good worker and a good person. And then it seems like after her heart surgery.
She never really specified, but she just said.
She said you used to be, and then I believe she'd mentioned when she was ill. And then when you came back, you were not a good worker. Selfish.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
You know, Michelle Yeoh got like super bloodshot eyes when she was fake crying. Like those things were bloodshot.
She fake crying? I think she might have been real crying.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not because you're really sad. It's because it's acting.
She could have been method acting and pulling from something.
What, her poking her eye and?
No, that's not method acting.
I know. No, I'm just saying how like bloodshot they were. I was like, damn, dude. You got blood pressure
when you're sad, your eyes get bloodshot. Maybe. Well, also, how many takes of that did they have where she was sitting there? And I bet you Michelle Yeoh was actually crying.
Yeah,
so how many shots of her for real
She read the rest
crying?
of the script.
Wow. Yeah, honestly, I would cry too. I'd be like, oh,
signed on for this.
All right, so then
sad. It was predictable.
Then we see a little more interaction between her and Tom.
Yes.
And she's like, "Hey, do you have a phone? I can call you." He's like, "No, I leave it in the cupboard because I don't want to be distracted."
Tom.
By life. He's always like, look up. And he's eccentric, looking at new things.
He was just trying to get her killed because she looks up, she doesn't see the crosswalk, and a truck just barrels down.
Yeah.
Wrong kind of movie, but
now we could be together.
And then he's like, "Oh, I work at this homeless shelter. I volunteer
at night
there." And then he does something else at night as a job.
He's a delivery man.
Haunting people.
Man. We don't know what he delivers, but you know.
Fun fact for you: many of the scenes were filmed in London. So in order to make sure there was nobody around, they started filming at 2 a.m. Most scenes were filmed at 2 in the morning.
Ouch.
Yeah. Maybe that's why her eyes were bloodshot.
Yeah. It's all that caffeine.
She's like jittery.
So then
I'll give you one last chance.
so you start to suspect something, and then, well, I started suspecting something when she's like, he disappears for moments at it, like days at a time, and I can't contact him, and I don't know where he's at, and I went to the homeless shelter, and I actually volunteered, and how dare I?
Yeah, he tricks her into being a better person, like
Right.
Scrooge.
You're not going to convince me that's where it was going. That is not.
It's my own personal take. Anyway.
No, man.
Gosh.
No way.
Jeez.
But at this point in time, she's still a shitty person because
Yeah.
this is when she goes back home to have dinner with her family,
Right. And she's late
and she's late.
to her sister's promotion dinner.
And she
which,
tries to like play off, well, I was volunteering at a homeless shelter. And they're like, yeah, okay.
well, her mom's the type that is absolutely coddling of the younger sibling. Like, notice how they hadn't even cut the cake yet until Amelia Clark's character got home.
Kate, yeah.
Kate. And it was, I'm sorry, whose favorite cake? Kate. Kate's favorite cake.
For her sister's
Marta's
promotion.
promotion dinner. So it's very clear that there is like a sibling.
Well, she's
So
the baby.
weird.
Right.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's because one, mom is a singer, quote unquote, right? Mom connects to that, which Kate is the singer of the family.
Yeah.
Mom's super proud of that. And then also Kate's the one who got sick and mom got all the attention from that. So
Right.
not only is she the baby, but she's the one that was able to, I don't know, stimulate mom's attention-seeking
Right. Behavior.
need. Right. Versus Marta.
Codependence.
Yes. Yes. Versus Marta, who's very
more independent
Right.
and who, like
Yeah.
the mother pushed her to be a lawyer, and that comes out at dinner like,
Right.
you pushed me to be
a
a lawyer.
very realistic family dinner. Like immediate.
Right.
Your father
Argument.
looks like he's 1,000 years old.
Your father looks like he's 1,000 years old. It's fucking rude. Fucking bitch.
And then, so then of course, like Kate gets upset and like, because then they start Marta starts like on Kate's life choices, and Kate's like, what about your girlfriend?
Right. Outs her older sister at a table you would think would be very unaccepting.
conservative.
Yeah.
Well, they're Catholic Orthodox Slavic family from Yugoslavia that's no longer now Slovakia. And yeah.
Yeah. So, damn, Kate. Fuck
Right.
you, girl.
Yeah.
Like,
Slavic
Jesus.
countries are not welcoming
Yeah.
to LGBTQ at all.
I'm sure.
Right. So then, of course, like
It's
Kate's
true, as
like,
it sucks,
woe is
yeah.
me. Why does everybody...
Right. So, what does she do?
Then-
She goes to walk around, tries to find
Right.
Tom, finds him finally,
Right.
and he takes her back to his place, right?
Yeah, I think that's the night when he takes her back to
Yes.
his place. And
And they do have a heartwarming conversation.
right, and then doesn't she like
Heartwarming, you say.
You
Doesn't she,
talked
like,
through
mention-
all of it.
doesn't she
You don't
mention
know.
though that like
Heartwarming.
why don't you want to
Oh,
like because
but
she's like we're gonna
No one cares what you say, Samantha. We're just trying to talk about our puns. No, I'm kidding. I'm
We're
kidding.
just here making jokes. This is the hot dog thing all
Yeah,
over
it
again,
is.
you remember?
Yeah.
Sam trying to get along with the
This is gonna be
podcast.
a total.
Us joking about some...
We're gonna get like
mediocre.
eventually, if this ever gets popular enough, hate mail.
Yeah, they're going to be like,
Quit
let
treating Samantha like
speak.
that. Yeah.
Let Samantha speak.
And then there's other people gonna be encouraging it because they think it's hilarious.
it's gonna be my fake email accounts that do that.
Yeah. You're going to
That'd be
create
great.
bots that swarm us.
So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Samantha.
Okay, so they're at Tom's place. They're having the
Moo.
heart-to-feel conversation, and so interrupting. Yeah.
I forgot what we were... I just
It
remembered
just
it
starts
had
saying,
to do
"Shut
with
up,
interrupting
motherfucker!"
cow.
It's like,
Yeah, you're
Damn,
gonna say
cow.
shut up, motherfucker.
I'm so
Bitch.
sorry. I just remembered it was a cow that was like interrupting people. So that's...
and you just went moo. It's like you messed up the establishing joke from earlier.
You laughed.
I did because I didn't expect it, so it was good. But I wanted to shut the fuck up, motherfucker. I'm a cow.
There's still time. There's still time. So then, of course, like she's like, "Why don't you like me?" Like at first, she was like, "Ooh, we're gonna do it because now I'm in his bed."
I did say us in our twin size bed.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he's like, "No,
It's an extra
I'm not gonna
down."
do it.
Right.
Like I'm just tucking you in and
Because he's a good guy.
Because he
And
can't
she's
get it
not
up.
used to good guy.
Right.
Dead dick.
Dead dick right
yeah,
there.
pretty much."
Blue balls. New meaning. Anywho. He's a gentleman. He's like,
Right.
you're a slut. It's okay.
Even dead guys can get VD, and I've been haunting you for long enough to know.
He's like, I know where you've
Cautionary
been.
tale.
Right.
Hmm.
Well, then, and this is where we find out that she had some kind of heart transplant.
Right.
Because, like,
Yeah.
she's like, "Oh, this is part of me," and she like shows him or whatever.
Yeah, slow reveal, like, you know, it's like other
Like-
people haven't seen her body everywhere.
Right.
Like, we know she's been sick the whole
Yeah.
movie. And then this is where we, as the audience, learn that she has a heart transplant
Yeah,
Right.
via his lens.
probably some sort of congenital defect, but she's fine now. Which is funny
Because she
because
got a new heart.
yeah.
New heart.
I only say the whole like showing her body around because when she changed.
Oh
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So then, you know, that happens. She feels like rejected or whatever. And then I can't remember how everything starts to crumble kind
Oh,
of thing.
everything
Well-
goes forward. And she goes to the thing to do like the music recruitment
Right.
over at the
Well,
home.
she starts trying to be a better person.
Yeah.
So she, like,
Yeah.
sings in front of it first to, like, try to gain
Oh,
money.
the homeless
and
place.
really, the
Yeah.
homeless place, the first time she visited was the dead giveaway when everybody's like, I have no idea who you're talking about.
Well,
And there's
right.
only like 3 volunteers there. It's like, come on.
although part of me was like, he's just a piece of shit and says that he's volunteering when he's not. That was so distrustful of him. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Meanwhile, I'm just
where
like,
is he like,
he's actually
he's
homeless.
actually like,
and
at
that's
first
why
I thought that too.
he's homeless, and that's why he wears the same clothes every day.
there was like
pressed and
3
clean
or 4 things
every
going on.
day.
Mine. I was like, he's
one
a
of
piece of
those.
shit.
Yeah.
He's homeless. He's like
Broke into a studio apartment.
broke into a studio apartment that actually was his.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's why I was like, as soon as I saw him wearing the same clothes, what was like second or third time? I can't remember because I thought they were all on the same
Yeah.
day at that one point, and then the next time I'm like, he's wearing the same clothes. He's dead.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when we started actually saying like he's probably dead.
Which is wild because literally I watched this the first time. I did not nail that he was wearing the same clothes every time. It was like the cartoon character effect, you know,
Oh,
where they
yeah.
wear the same clothes every time. You don't fucking
Just a
notice.
shirt and no pants.
Yeah.
well, I mean,
Yellow shoes.
and I think at one point I was like
Uh-huh.
about the
Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh, fuzzy little bunny all stuffed with fluff.
see he wears the same thing all the time. Is he dead?
Yeah. Actually,
He is
there is
Christopher
a
Robin's
good, there is a
imagination.
theory.
That's true.
There's some actually really good theories about the 100 Acre Woods, but I'm gonna save those for later.
Did you ever hear about Peter Pan? All the kids are dead.
All the kids are dead.
Yeah.
Because that's why they never go.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That one's easy.
Just throw them out the window. You can fly. No, you can't.
No.
So moving on.
Peter Pan's just a demon that makes kids jump out the window and kill themselves.
Now
Holy
that's a
shit.
story.
Fuck yeah, man.
I
Copyright.
love that. Trademark.
Sorry, Samantha.
No, it's okay. I lost my train of thought.
She gave me the face like,
All right. So
Yeah.
then he does something. He disappears.
Well, he disappears. She continues on with her act
Goodness.
of trying to
'cause
get
they've been having
money.
dates.
And then she's well, we forgot the ice skating date.
Yeah.
Like he, helps
All
her
these
out with
dates,
that,
yeah.
and then all these cute little things. And then she's trying to help out by making a talent.
Oh, wait, she
show.
pushes him away. That's right. He pushes her away by going back to the bench.
Oh, that's right.
And then, like-
she's
Right.
like, oh,
what is it?
this is like a relationship.
Yeah.
And he's like,
You're too dependent on me. So basically, he's giving her the cold shoulder or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's bullshit. And, you
Right.
know,
So
eventually
then she's
she's
like,
like,
well-
screw this. I'm going to go over to his place.
Fuck you. I'm going to go to the homeless shelter and do a talent show and showcase my talent somewhere else when I
Yeah.
can.
yeah,
Yeah. So she
I'm gonna be a better person.
talks to Michelle Yeoh
despite
again
you.
and says like, hey, we haven't slept together yet. And she hasn't slept with her person yet. And they're just talking about it. And
They
then
were
she's-
very funny.
They were.
Yeah.
The German guy's like, you are a beautiful princess. Almost. Seemed like that's what he wanted to say.
Yes,
Um,
that's the vibe.
yeah.
And then we find out because she goes to his place after like auditioning and like feeling good about herself
because she hasn't seen him a while either.
Right. So she's seeking him out personally. She's like, I know where he
He
lives.
doesn't have a phone.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go find him. She walks in, a guy dressed eerily similar.
Yeah. Turns around. It's
Apparently,
not
all of
him.
London's men's.
They all dress
wear
at the same place.
thing.
Off-brand Burberry. So
But meanwhile, he's looking at the place to rent it.
Right.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, that's strange. She didn't know he was selling the place. That's why it's clean, right? He goes, I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
it's been vacant for 18 months.
Yeah, because
Right.
the guy died.
Mhm.
She's like,
And then she's all like, what?
She opens
And-
the cabinet and finds a phone.
and
Well,
it's
yeah.
his phone.
phone
Where
first.
he left it.
And she has a whole flashback, sort of
Makes a connection.
makes the connection that when she went in for her heart transplant,
Right.
it was his heart
I'm
that she
sorry.
received.
I got to back this up. They've had several dates, right?
Yeah.
And then in the flashback, she realized she was alone by herself, looking like a psycho.
Yes,
But-
which is so funny.
Wouldn't you be like, well, that's a red flag. They're wearing the same clothes every single time.
No.
I
Really?
mean,
I would.
she's-
I'd be like,
let me retrace to the fact that she's selfish. She's a selfish person.
Right.
She's not caring about other people.
Right.
She doesn't
Well,
pay attention,
I know, that's just weird.
obviously, to other people.
This is
And
weird.
if you think about it
Weird.
too, they didn't see each other consecutively.
Right, consistently. Because she keeps saying you disappear for days on end. He's like,
Right.
oh, 2 days.
Yeah, it was
Whatever.
2 days.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I also, watching the movie the first time, didn't even recognize that
Selfish.
he had not. Yeah. Because I'm a selfish bitch. Damn it.
See, what's that say about me? Okay. All right. I should be with what's
I don't
Tom.
know. You're heartless?
Yeah. How am I heartless? Oh,
I don't know. Let's get to the ratings.
Oh, I got you.
Alright,
I got
so-
you now, heartless, because I would have been dead by a car. You know what? At this point, hit me. I don't give a fuck. Merry
Alright,
Christmas. All right. So,
screenplay.
Let's get to it, bitches.
Ding, ding,
yeah, watch you not die. It's me. And I'll be like, see, there it is. It'll be a heart attack. No one can have it.
I knew you weren't an organ donor.
I am. I'm just going to make sure no one can get it. It'll be through like a fucking wood chipper.
Somebody's gonna like knock
God.
on like my door one of these days and be like, "I have your husband's heart." I'm like, "Really?" Because he had one. Just kidding.
What?
Just go back to the episode of my birthday picks, which were romance picks, and you'll see I have a heart. I have a heart.
It's an interesting one for sure.
Yeah. All right. So
male.
screenplay. What do you say, Nick?
1.
For real?
For real.
Wow.
Because it's stuff that's already been done mixed together. That's what was annoying. They took 2 concepts that were done already and said, what if we mash them together? 6 Sense and any given Hallmark film. And the cheeseball effect was just like, was not deserving of any of the budget that this thing was given, which was $25 million. And I'm like, why? If I read this script, I'd be like, you need script rewrites. And there's not one original thought in this thing. Sorry, Emma
Wow.
Thompson. I know she'd fucking slap me in the face, but you know.
Yeah, as she should. As
Why?
she
There's not
should.
one thing that hasn't already been done.
There was a ton about their.
This is
their
borderline
family
plagiarism.
discrimination. There's
been discrimination.
plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
Please.
6
Please.
Sense and
Please. Half the movies
Terrible.
out there
Are
have
pla-
already been done.
Right. And
It-
there's movies too that we've talked about that like have elements of other movies
Yeah,
that
I'm
you
sorry.
thought were great.
Hold that. Hold the train. Hold the train. Let's go back to Pierce
I see
Brosnan.
dead people.
Let's go back to that film.
Well, that was
Wasn't
actually
that an actual remake?
yeah. You get permission.
Yeah.
That's
But
where
I'm
it's not
saying
plagiarism.
it wasn't fucking original.
Well, no,
But
I didn't say.
everybody- I
Okay,
mean-
at the very least, it's not original at all. At the very least,
Yes.
Wow.
borderline plagiarism.
Damn. Damn.
I
And
would
you
rather have
thought
seen.
I was being too harsh on the last film that we watched. That
I-
does not. Hold on. I want to know what else you gave a 1 on screenplay. A 1. That's crazy.
1.
A 1 is like
I think I gave it for. Didn't I give it for?
baby biker freaking
Yeah,
Warrior
babe
which actually was original.
level. No, you know what? I gave Baby Cat higher than that. I gave Thanksgiving.
Baby
a
Cat is
1.
original,
Actually, no, I gave Biker Warrior.
and
Baby
it's a
2.
romance.
I feel like he's just getting back at me.
I
now.
think he's just
I think he's just like.
All right, fine. I'll give it. Okay, all right. you got a point on the fact that it has a beginning, middle, and end. And when it had a beginning, middle, and end, I did give it props for that. I think what really irritated me the most is the fact that it's so, to me, it's so obvious that it's just like, dude, other shit has already been, we've been down this path so many times. Why don't we try something new?
Because everything needs to be refiltered and redone, and
I will give you a reluctant 4.
Okay.
I'll give you a reluctant 4.
I feel like that's better.
Okay, I gave it a 7 because I get it's not original. It would have been a 10 if it was original,
right?
Or close to that. And
agreed.
What did you give? But it was done very well. Where watching it for the first time. Like I kind of picked out that he was dead, but it's because I've seen movies like this before.
Yep, seen it before.
Wow. Right, but it was done well.
It was done well. Again, if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, like you're a new gen person coming in and watching this. Right. I mean, granted, I'd seen The Sixth Sense.
Beetlejuice. They're wearing the same clothes the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a minute. It's been a hot minute since I've done that.
Giveaway.
But listen, I mean, I've seen movies like that before. Also, I also gave it a 7 because I feel like it wasn't trash. It wasn't utter trash. Fucking garbage.
Yeah, no,
I didn't
and there was like a plot and a
semblance,
and it was like begin, middle, end, and it kind of made sense.
Yeah, and there were cute themes in it, like better how to take care of yourself and put yourself make better choices as a person. Right. Like I thought there were themes to it.
First half wasn't annoying.
First half wasn't annoying?
Correct.
Okay.
It's the last half.
Wow.
Direction.
Oh, direction was fine. I gave it an 8 out of 10.
I gave it 8 out of 10.
I gave it a 7, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because I thought that, I mean...
Why do you hate your own film? No.
Wow. No, I think that's where I gave it the unoriginality kind of trope of just going through the similar paths of whatever. Yeah. Same with screenplay. I mean, there are some things, but I enjoyed it.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like when she found out that, while she was interacting with him and doing the flashback scene, I think that could have been done a lot better.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of dinged it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, acting.
I gave it an 8.
I gave it an 8.
I actually gave it a 9.
Really?
It was well acted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love Emilia Clarke.
Yeah.
I mentioned this earlier, but her eyebrows are probably the most expressive eyebrows besides Jim Carrey that just have the most mobile ability to express emotion, and her facial expressions every time get me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that, and if you look at Hallmark films, are always so dryly the same damn position and delivery on every fucking line ever. No matter what Hallmark film you're watching, it's the same goddamn film rehashed with the same line delivery, with the same eye looks, the same emotions, the same everything.
The formula works, though.
Right.
Oh God, it's like
it does.
Would you like a glass of milk?
I'm with you.
Would you like another glass of milk? Here's another glass of milk. Same as the last glass of milk. That is Hallmark movies. With this, at least it was acted in a more varied way.
Yeah.
Right. And it wasn't cheeseball either.
No.
Yeah.
Everybody did I thought Emma Thompson was a great,
yeah, she's a great actress.
Overbearing kind of just suffocating mother. I thought the older sister did a great job. Emilia Clarke. Henry Golding did really great.
Well,
Michelle
even
Yeoh.
Remember when she was in the apartment of her best friend that's pregnant, her boyfriend, he did an amazing job. I mean,
his annoyance and being my patience.
And I kind of felt his aggravation.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think about
Yeah. I think it was a little too lighthearted on the KGB thing, because that is an actual thing. She was don't talk about things you don't know about.
Right.
That was a poignant moment that I was like, well, that was brushed aside, but
yeah. Well, I mean, that's also kind of the perspective of younger people who don't know. I mean, I barely know much about the KGB, so I'd be like, KGB. The Office did that bit, oh, it's a KGB.
Oh yeah, but it's your own mother that lived through it.
Right.
That's fucked up.
She also is kind of I mean, first of all,
that's
she
why
doesn't
she's
even
a
like
dick,
her mother. Right. She's kind of a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So there's that.
When she outed her own sister at the table.
Yeah.
And I like that the movie's perspective and main character was from an unlikable like not a good person. I like when movies do that, when
Yeah.
they follow a person who's not necessarily a good person.
Right.
It's always a good time.
Cinematography.
A 7.
Gave it an 8.
Give it an 8.
Yeah.
Lighting
good.
and
Nothing
all.
too special, but nothing like
I like the lighting a lot.
horrible.
It was varied enough. It looked natural. Looked good.
Yeah, it was cute. It had moments.
I just, the thing, going back to the screenplay again real quick, the cheeseball thing, like, look, lots of Christmas lights. Look where I'm taking you. Isn't it nice? And then they play the same stupid like score. Do, 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 do. Oh, you're supposed to be romantic now, audience. It's supposed to be romantic. You hear the music. Ugh.
I feel like that's more on editing.
Yeah,
Which is why
I kind
I
of
gave that
Well,
a
editor
7.
doesn't
I gave
control
it a
the
7.
music. It would be more, I guess you could say,
Direction.
maybe we should throw down score at some point. Well, next season we can do that. We have to put in budget and score on these things.
Well, I feel
Right.
like direction. I feel like that's a direction move, if anything, because they're the ones who kind of pick how it should look and sound.
Oh, well, I was thinking score, like score, like the music.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, director doesn't, that's the composer.
Right, but doesn't the
doesn't-
director have a say in how it's composed?
Sometimes not. It depends.
Or the editor.
Usually not, I don't think.
Right.
That's why you have to
Who
pick a
control-
good composer,
Well, I
because they
guess-
get the final film already done. They're like, here. And then you have some creative,
And hopefully the producers.
I mean,
or
not
whoever likes
always.
it.
I mean, we watched
I don't
what
know.
was it? The Prospect was it The Prospect? One of the films we watched that time, there were certain scores that were made before
right.
filming, and they
That-
listened
that
to it.
was-
That was The Prospect, wasn't it?
Oh, well, it was that episode. It was the conversation.
The conversation.
Conversation.
Yes.
Where he just like wrote
Yes.
it and then they just placed it wherever.
Yes.
And then the director said, hey, can you make me something like this? So that's why I say
Yeah.
it depends. I mean, normally it's like, hey, here's the film already done. Can you write some stuff for it?
Right.
Which is why they trust
Yes,
people like
so
John
I'm gonna be
Williams.
honest.
And
So I
We
guess
can't-
next season we'll have it separate from everything.
yeah, because
I
we
don't
mentioned
know.
it before. I don't want to throw in her direction because it might not be the director's fault. That's the
Right.
one thing.
But I don't know. Because
I mean, look at Wes Craven's Last House on the Left.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh my
That's
God.
right.
And then the one guy
You look
going,
at, you know what's a 10 out of 10 score?
What?
Interstellar.
yeah, it's good.
I listened to that music
Mhm.
just by itself,
Mhm.
getting the feels.
I was just reading an article about that where they were talking about how it rewrote how science fiction should be done from here on out.
Mhm.
Have yet to see that since it's already been almost 10 years.
Right.
Right.
So I'm like, I don't know if it did exactly what they thought it was going to do.
It should
but,
have.
Yeah.
It should have, because that movie is 10 out of 10, spectacular.
Yeah. It kind of went the other way
I love
around.
Hans
It went
Zimmer,
straight to
too.
Dune. We also did the score for,
Hans Zimmer did Dune?
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't seen Dune.
So editing, I gave it a 7.
I gave it a 7 too.
It's just not like super realistic.
No?
No, Dune is like hyper fantasy.
Well, yeah, I read the first third of the book, and then I gave up because I was like, oh my God, I
Frank
can't hear
Herbert's
more
epic.
about freaking the spice. Okay, I get it with the
It's the
spice.
spice
I hear
melange.
once you get through like 2/3 of the book, it's like spectacular. I just couldn't do it.
That's a bad review in itself.
Right. Like, I feel like
If you just get
your
through
first
2/3.
2/3 of your book is not good, then you need to, like, I don't know.
Maybe
But
work on it.
Figure out
I
something.
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Anyhow,
2/3. All right. So
All right.
editing, 7 out of 10. I gave it.
I gave it
yeah,
7.
7.
Yeah. No special effects.
Right.
Yeah, no special effects.
So overall, I give it a 7.
I give it a 7 too.
7 out of 10.
I would stream it.
Stream it.
Skip it.
Yeah.
You probably have already seen it before.
These kind of, but you know, like if you're like into Christmas romance movies, this is a good one
Right.
to kind of.
And you don't want to watch like Hallmark Christmas movies. Like, if you do, I'm with you. Love it. But if you want something like a step up, this is
and
it.
like varied. So
If you're a genre fan, yeah. And this is the thing. It was divisive because I looked up. Audience gave it an 81% on Rotten Tomatoes, but critics gave it 46%, closer to what I was kind of feeling.
Mm.
So,
I wonder if a bunch of those reviews were women that love
I
Christmas
mean-
movies.
I mean, if you want to be sexist and think that's going to change somebody's critique, no.
Wow.
I want to be.
Do you want to know something very interesting? One of the fun facts that I found that was not fun at all, because I didn't actually know this, but a lot of Kate's condition, like Emilia Clarke played from the fact that she had a brush with death in like 2011 and 2013, like early Game of Thrones time. She had 2 separate brain aneurysms that almost killed her.
Oh, fuck.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is fucking wild. I had no idea that happened. So, but
Right.
that makes a lot of her like scenes where she's kind of opening up about this and like
Fun fact: she almost died.
fun fact, yeah. No, that's why I was like, it's
It's
not
pretty
actually
hard.
fun. it's kind of really sad.
Well, I'm glad
but-
she was able to do that.
Right.
You know, because some
That was a hard left from
like
my
I don't
joke.
know if I
Yeah.
like if I went through something traumatic, I don't know if I'd be able to like openly talk about that on like screen.
Right.
I don't
So,
know. I'm not. An actor.
I mean, I'm sure she pulled a lot of that into her, like, you know.
What do you mean you're not an actor? You've acted. You were a stage actor. You had an audience and everything.
Okay, but I don't do that anymore. I retired.
She got too
Even though you did an audition like what 3 years ago?
What? For what?
Another stage play.
What did you
Yeah.
do? What play?
It was called Disenchanted.
Disenchanted?
Yeah, it was like musical, and I'm not a musical person. I didn't know it was a
Oh.
musical until I got there, and then I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not getting this, and I didn't, which is fine.
Yeah.
Darn.
Well, the whole. I mean, it was like.
But it was
everybody
also-
knew each other. So.
Oh.
They weren't planning on giving anybody else a chance, pretty much.
And not only
That's
that,
right.
but
'Cause a lot of
like.
There was like a bunch of bit parts that would have been fun to play,
Mhm.
but the main people that would do the plays or whatever didn't want to share. They were
Boo.
like,
They're a
"I'm not
bunch of
gonna-
cunts.
I'm not going to do that if I don't get two
Yeah,
There
parts.
it
fuck 'em.
is. Yeah.
'cause
Ew,
it's so
what?
small.
2-part bullshit.
Yeah. It's fucking.
So,
They
but
don't care about
whatever.
art. It's the same thing when you get a bunch of like it's in the clique, and it's like as soon as you're in art and you're trying to be cliquish, you've already fucked up. It should be whoever can do the best, because I've seen it happen even in my
Right.
college where I saw somebody audition and they did a phenomenal job, and the director's like, no, because she didn't like them or something like that. I'm like, if you could work with
Wow.
them and they do well, I don't give a shit about the other stuff as long as they're not racist, bigotry, or any of that stuff.
Right.
You're getting work,
Yeah.
If I can
Fuck
work with
that.
you and you can do the job, fine.
Right.
All
All
right.
right. When we come back, we're going to do my pick.
Which is
Well, technically.
Well, it's all through the house, and it was recommended by our friend Jamie. Shout
Yeah.
out to you.
Woo woo.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
None of us saw it,
Spooky.
so we'll see.
We'll be right back after no messages. All right, we're back finally. Okay.
Woo.
So we have All Through the House. That was it recommended?
So I read my text message again, and she said, "Hey, have you seen All Through the House?" And I was like, "Nope." And then she's like, "You should watch it." And watch it. We did.
And watch it, we did. And could be one of those that's like, you should watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Well, all right. So let's go with the synopsis here.
All right. So All Through the House came out
actually-
2015.
yeah, forgot about that though.
The writer and director was Todd Nunez.
Yes.
Actors Ashley Mary Nunez, which is his sister,
He
Yeah.
got in a slutty costume.
Jessica Cameron,
Yeah.
and Lito Velasco. I don't know.
Who, he was the killer.
Yeah, he was a killer.
Yeah.
And you can find this on Prime.
Yes.
With
And it is a
limited
horror movie.
I thought it was a horror comedy at first,
Yes.
and then I was like, I guess it's just horror. I don't know.
It's labeled as straight horror.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
So let's
Jumping
get to
into that
it.
Yeah, we have-
Synopsis.
It's fine on Prime, right? Is that what you said?
Prime.
Prime. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right. So opens up.
It opens up to
Sound more
3
interesting.
kids staring at a terrible Santa
3
display.
boys
Right.
finding a snowball out of thin air
Yeah,
Yes.
there's no
There's
freaking
no
snow.
snow.
Yeah,
and hitting the Santa.
it's not even cold.
Yeah.
Like the grass was green as summer's day.
Yeah.
because it was filmed in July.
There you go. Yeah,
Yep.
figured.
Makes sense.
And then hitting the Santa with said snowball that they pulled out of their ass, I guess.
Right.
Just take that, and the mask falls off, and then it's like this scarecrow looking thing, and they
Right.
can tell you should throw it out there, and I throw it. Come on, you little bastard! Like little kids call each other little bastard.
Yeah, who knows what these kids
They
these
honestly
days.
might. Who's to say?
Probably. And then next thing you know, you're seeing a little kid in a bed, like his obviously it's like his mom waiting for the dad to get home from work because, like, you know, they're just resting or whatever. And the kid he answers the door because I guess
that was Haley Joel Osment, right?
Even if it was, I doubt that he would want us to say anything.
As a full-grown man at this point, just playing a kid.
Yeah. Haley Joel Osment in 2015.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then all of a sudden, like, the mother wakes up and she's like, "Oh my God, where's my son?" And the door is wide open for some reason. I'm guessing the kid, he did something. Like, I don't think he killed the kid, did he?
I have no idea.
No, the kid just ran away, apparently, for all we know.
He was on the couch.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he was
right.
On the couch.
Oh, yeah. What did she say? Like, Jessica Cameron's character is like something like, "You little shit," or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She says, like, "You little shit." And then she, like, pets his hair and closes the door.
Because
Yeah.
the door was, like, left open and stuff like that. So she assumed it was him. But
Yeah.
I'm, like, wondering now, I'm like, was the kid passed out? Did he, like, snap his neck? Like,
I don't know.
Who's to say?
who's to say? So the mother gets into the shower and, you know, starts showering herself.
Oh my God. I want to block out the fucking dialogue when daddy comes home and fucking
It's not even
moves
natural.
The curtain
Yeah.
and oh my God, what the hell were they talking about?
It's so cringy and it was just so bad. And the other thing is too is that he was like, she would say something at one point, I think it was like the last line, and you could tell she is kind of saying, "Well, we're not going to do it unless I know your ED is not having a issue."
Yeah.
And
She's like, "I hope he's happy."
yeah, can you make him happy before I get out? And like at one point he delays his line delivery such that it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we see her get killed. The nipple.
Through the nipple into the fucking collarbone.
Yeah.
With a pair of shears while he's jerking off in the other room.
Saying,
Hark.
let's.
Hark. Oh, strong hark.
No, he was like,
For the light.
I wrote it down because it was just so cringy and funny at the same time. It's like, let's moonwalk on that pussy.
Is that what he said?
Makes no sense. You're gonna step and slide on it.
Oh my God. I'm going to say that the next time I get someone to bed.
Moonwalk on my pussy.
Oh God.
They're going to be like, we should see other people.
That's almost like that Osama bin Laden video or a music video.
Yeah.
What? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask. All right.
So it was from Popstar. I think it was. Was it from Popstar?
Oh, the Lonely Island?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's wild though is she gets stabbed through the titty and then she's just like, like no screaming. She's just looking at it.
Yeah.
And then she
Oh
gets
my
stabbed,
God.
in the head? And still nothing.
It reminds me of that one like grindhouse film. Was it Bloodsucking Freaks?
Blood sucking freaks.
Yeah, like there's a part where she's pulling out the teeth. Like they're pulling out the teeth from her mouth, and she's just like,
That feels weird.
Yeah.
I have
Meanwhile, like we go for a cleaning, and it feels like, God, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then he goes and chops off Mr. Masturbaty's happy little guy. And again, we get nothing.
No. Well, he screams like a very delayed scream, though.
But I
'Cause
thought
he
he
does
gets like
scream.
his wiener chopped off and then stabbed and then he screams.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay,
But
that
there's
wasn't
still
enough
like
to
a
scream.
Chop, stab, pause,
Scream.
Line. What am I supposed to be doing here?
line.
Oh,
You're supposed to
shit.
fucking scream.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to scream.
Like-
Oh shit.
If you want to get more money for your future films, perhaps you should do as
Well,
the best as you can in the ones that you have a low budget for.
Everything was done. All makeup was done with practically.
Well, yeah, we
So.
definitely saw that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of syrup being
Yeah.
splattered everywhere.
Uh,
I mean, hey, for all of it being practical, it wasn't like horrible.
Right.
Yeah,
The only-
we've seen worse.
It wasn't Thanksgiving with the
Yeah.
guts and the
Eat the invisible turkey.
Yeah, I was like, all right, not bad. I didn't like seeing chopped off penises though. That was not my fave. I didn't like the cat later on.
The Vienna sausage moment.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so then that happens, and then they go. The song that they played after that, though,
Oh yeah, for the intro.
was kind of funny
Oh yeah.
because you're like up on the rooftop, click, click, and then it just like turns into this whole
Yeah.
It's like supposed to be horror based, I guess.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're-
It's just,
I thought it was funny.
That was probably like the funniest part of the movie.
Yeah.
And the
I
best
think
part of the
I
movie.
really think that this movie was just supposed to be a horror porn.
I-
Like literally, but just like emphasis on the porn with
everything.
the
But there was
titties.
I don't think there was one sex scene. Not one.
No.
No.
Yeah.
There was just a lot of titties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a
Like
lot of penis
every
cutting.
female, I think, had their tits out. Almost everyone.
Like the only time we saw the
They should've just
penises,
had, like, a
though, is
fucking-
when they were cut off.
Like an
so that
OnlyFans
was-
handle each time underneath. Like, oh, if you want to see more, go to.
yeah. Oh, here.
Because I felt like most of these actresses probably had an OnlyFans.
I mean, why else were they all like hot with their tits out?
I mean,
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's
Maybe
to
to
say?
get better ratings or awards.
there's ways to do
'Cause-
it and there's ways not to do it. And this was just lazy.
They
Felt lazy.
won a handful of awards
For
like,
what?
for the screenplays, whatever, at the low level things.
Why the fuck am I got to
You know
get
what I
something
mean?
out there. This is ridiculous.
Not like an Oscar or anything like that.
Well, no, but still, the fact that they're even in
Obviously.
consideration is just like, what?
Please tell me not. You said for the screenplay?
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, what awards
Interesting. All right.
show is this? Is it
All right.
Razzies?
No.
No,
They're not getting a Kiss Award from us.
no. Maybe worst movie.
Yeah.
Although we already have a winner for this season.
Yeah. No, I know. You didn't need to point. I see him on the wall.
Yeah.
Fucking monstrosity he is.
Worst director, Daddy Derek.
It's fucking Derek. That's his name.
Derek Savage is the worst director.
Yeah, no. We're not even going to give him the satisfaction of calling him Derek Savage. He's Daddy Derek.
Derek Daddy Savage.
Derek, comma Daddy.
Derek, comma Daddy. Feel uncomfortable calling him Daddy, honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
So back to the movie.
Yeah, what happened?
Obviously, you did your nails
during.
during the movie, which is funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, what else are you to do during that film?
Yeah.
Watching it was something else.
All right. So then all of a sudden you see this crazy bitch with life-size freaking decorations.
Oh, the mannequins.
Mannequins.
Oh, the mannequins.
All the
All
scary
dressed-
mannequins and the
all
scary
dressed
Santas.
up in like Christmas stuff. Now they got all their decoration from thrift stores for the Christmas stuff.
You probably make it more spooky.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. It honestly, the decor looked like my dad and I did the same thing to decorate for a Halloween party I had in high school. We went to thrift stores and got like a bunch of Barbie dolls and stuff, and then like made them look all fucked up. Took off their heads, strung them on string, and tied them to the ceiling.
Because when I think high school Halloween party, I think of let me make it look like I kill people for a living.
Yeah, it was spooky.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
would say so. Yeah.
Yeah. We made a lot of our stuff. From the
Usually
thrift
it's-
store. It was
you-
fun.
Like usually I hear high schoolers just making it look like it's a Halloween theme, but not actually
Yeah.
like hanging up Barbie dolls.
Yeah,
That's
Well.
pretty funny.
we were eccentric.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
It was a fun time. My
All right,
dad
so
played
they
World of
won-
Warcraft the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, a bunch of kids were like watching him play.
That's funny. No, I'm gonna cast a spell, but first I'm gonna prime up my
Yeah.
That's funny. It's awesome.
So they won an award at the Action on Film International Film Festival
Okay.
Did they
For
make
bet-
that festival for themselves?
for best artwork and design.
Okay.
And there was a couple like nominees like Best Actress and Best Horror Film Feature, but they didn't win those.
Who's nominated for Best Actress? Does it say?
Ashley.
Oh, okay.
Mary Nunez. And then we have
I didn't think she was horrible.
they were a winner at an anti-hero production genre fest, Best Special Effects.
Okay.
And then another Hole in the Head genre film festival for Best Local Feature.
Cool.
Fright Meter Awards.
All right.
Was it a slow year?
Hardcore Horror Fest. Best
I feel like this
director.
is like a freaking garage in Tennessee that hosts this shit.
Yeah.
Like,
This sounds like
RIP Horror Film Festival.
in Newark, New Jersey. Like,
when I was in high school, every year we had the Cheyenne Youth Short Film Festival that we would do every year, and our films always got nominated.
I was going to put it out there. You said youth. Is that a Christian film festival?
No.
No?
Ew.
Really? Okay. I was
Do you
just checking.
Look at me.
No, I know.
I didn't know who Job was. I thought it was pronounced Job. I thought the
In the book of Job.
I thought the first dinner or whatever was Thanksgiving. Okay, so definitely not a youth group. It was just we were youths.
Jesus, when he was alive, circa 1450, I guess. I don't know.
When he came over on the Mayflower, right?
That's where we get the Titanic. Look, Jack, I'm flying.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
he
was Jesus
I'm king of the
Nazareth.
world. Because I am a king.
We're gonna crucify this pilgrim. Hark.
Hark.
All right. So then it cuts back to the three girls again, and this bitch Sarah brings like Rachel's ex. And he was just like,
And he gives her a single rose because he can't be afforded to have a bouquet.
well, that, and he can't like live without her apparently. So he gives her a rose, probably with thorns, because he probably didn't get them just thorned.
Yeah, it's just here, and then that's it.
Here's a rose, and she was
Bye.
like, "Okay,
This is weird.
yeah."
I don't want to talk to you anymore. That's
The
why
lighting.
I broke
Can we
up
talk
with you.
about? Yeah, and just real quick. I know we're not in the rankings yet, but goddamn, the lighting. Just
The
bright
deer
ass-
in headlights lighting, the literal the guys that drive down the road with the fucking
yeah.
High beam.
high beam lighting, like just their normal freaking lights or the high beam lighting now.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Well,
that's about.
it's funny because I was like looking at. I mean, if you look at, I hate to say it like this, but the Girl Gone Wild or Girls Gone Wild, whatever,
Mhm.
and when they have that big spotlight on their camera and they're just going up to him and be like, it looks like that, and where they're just spotlighted, and it's even worse when they turn around and they're just blown out, and I'm
Right.
like, dude, you could have
like
filter.
Right.
It's like they thought that like more lighting equaled better lighting,
Yeah.
which is not true.
No.
no.
Get a better camera or a better lens to get
Right.
your light, dude. Like, no. Rent one.
Womp womp.
All right, can we talk about the next couple when the girl in the Santa outfit and she
Chained up her boyfriend.
chained up her boyfriend,
Oh, yeah.
and then she goes into the kitchen,
And she pulls out.
Oh my god, she pulls out an
eggplant.
eggplant, peanut butter,
Yep.
jelly.
and butter. Stick butter.
I don't even want to know.
No.
We really don't know what goes on with that part because
Yeah.
It's not that we're not adventurous.
I'm going to let that slide because of you not knowing what a cuff was.
I just couldn't, I was like, what the hell is that? No, I knew what cuffs are.
I mean, literally.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like, does that go in your mouth?
No. So,
Listen, it looked weird.
Okay.
I don't know. It wasn't like pink and fluffy.
it was leather.
Right. It was the real deal. Somebody owned that shit.
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that's a good point. Probably the brother.
Yeah.
Or maybe they brought their
Gross
own props.
myself out.
Yeah.
Who knows? But then again, so then the deranged Santa person comes and he cuts off the dick again.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
so we
because,
know there's a dick obsession, but then like at the end we knew why. But
Right.
well, a lot of
Not Jeffrey Dahmer.
dickectomies.
Don't worry.
Right.
Jeffrey Dahmer. I wanted hot dogs.
Although the next scene, was her eating the hot dog.
Yeah, like
Very
remember
much
it
alluding.
cut back to it. It was just like
It's Jeffrey Dahmer.
So,
and then, nope, that was the other one.
okay.
Sorry,
She got excited.
I was going to say something else that he stole, but it wasn't until the next couple.
Oh my God, did that ever come back into play?
No, neither did the eggplant.
What the fuck? Well, I don't remember him stealing the eggplant, to be honest. But I do remember him.
They didn't
stealing
show
the
him.
He actually, like,
stealing
off
anything.
screen, just made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Thank you for taking
Peanut
that
butter
out.
and eggplant. Isn't there a TV show that talked about peanut butter and eggplant sandwiches?
Maybe
Am I
the girl, whoever owned that house, was that girl, and she's like, "Let me pull out some stuff that they can eat."
I don't know.
I don't know. So then the next scene is like the killing of the lesbian couple, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets
And that's where he gets
lovely
the pink vibrator.
right. Which you're like,
Again,
ooh, what is he
Which,
going to use
like-
that for? He never did.
Yeah, he just grabs it like token of my appreciation, I guess.
Right.
Right.
I don't know. It like, yeah. And if are you feeling frisky, honey? Meanwhile, she's trying to shout through a shower door. Let's not get up and ask. And then
Yeah.
she's sitting there like, well, once you know, I start reading. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like,
Yeah.
What? You read and all of a sudden you're not horny anymore, dude?
Well, I mean, it looked like a romance novel, like one of those
I
mommy
guess. I don't
porn
know.
books.
This is dumb.
But who knows? So then this is where they have to go house sit.
Yeah, they're house sitting for nothing.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm going to go on a date, but it's not a date. Okay. And it's fucking midnight.
I know.
Right.
So they're house sitting a bunch of mannequins,
Yeah.
and it's not established why they have to do this. They're just
But
there,
they have
and
to
they're
get
like,
a
let's
box.
just bolt. Yeah, because she wanted to finish up the decorations, which again they never did. They never did any of that. But they have room temperature tepid eggnog to drink,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
to which the stupid ass drinks it. But that's drugged, but wasn't drugged before because another person did too. And they just start getting whacked one after the other until it's just her, and then she passes out, and then she ends up being tied up in a closet because
after her outfit was changed.
yeah, apparently the mom / neighbor, not her mom, but you know, she's a mother,
Could have been her mom.
the mother of
Could have
Jamie,
been.
the missing girl. She puts her in this like slutty blue outfit that's kind of
Alice in
Alice in
Wonderland.
yeah,
Wonderland.
adjacent, which you see in another mannequin. And I thought that's the one they used, but then no, there's
They use
another.
a
There's a
sluttier-
spare one.
Right.
Then it like puts heels
That's
on
her
her.
perfect size.
Yeah, and then so she's like, it looks like they put a push-up bra on her too, and then tie her up in the closet, and I'm like, okay,
And then her ex-boyfriend somehow gains access to the house
to save
Right.
her.
and
The door's
figures
padlocked, by
out
the way,
and
on the
figures
inside.
out that she is in that particular closet.
Right.
Mhm. Somehow,
Somehow.
and that she's
Somehow.
and that she's in trouble too. Again, somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow.
So he would have to know all those things, plus to use the back door because he found that the sliding glass door is wide open.
And to be honest, I thought that maybe he was in on it too.
How
At
fucking
that
stupid
point.
is that? Because when the girl with the red dress tries to escape, she's like, "Oh no, a padlock! Let's not try the back door."
Yeah.
Right. That obviously easily opens.
And she keeps on the Jessica Rabbit dress the entire fucking time.
And
for
the
no
heels,
reason.
like, take
Yeah.
off the fucking heels.
Yeah, I mean, what I would do is if I was the evil Santa, I would throw like Christmas ornaments in front of her because she would be like without shoes, and then at least then there would be
At
some
least
progress.
I
to it.
mean, I would take
Right.
Point,
some
counterpoint.
shoes and
Point,
like try to
counterpoint.
hit him at.
Right.
I mean,
but
I
there
know
was
there-
nothing. It
Yeah.
was like, let's just do a fun chase scene for her to go around in circles. All of them. Every single one of
Right.
them. For
Oh
them to
my
go around in
God,
circles.
yeah.
End up at the exact same place.
They're in a suburban
for
neighborhood.
no reason.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not like a in Krampus when she's trying to run, but it's like the fucking area is turned into fucking
Blizzard,
Blizzard
Yeah,
and
looks like
frozen
Antarctica.
and
empty for some reason. It's like
Right.
they're in a side
Ooh.
parallel universe, and that's fucking terrifying.
The naughty cut explains that Krampus was taking out all the families around them.
yeah.
Really?
And it
Yeah.
even shows like in the other houses, like the gingerbread man, like stabbed in.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
I love that movie. See, that's so good. Anywho,
Yeah,
back to
explain
this.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to whatever the fuck this was.
At some point,
Kills
her
the-
Nana
yeah.
was killed. And you want to talk
Best
about
kill.
that? Because that was the best kill.
So if you've ever seen Mac and Me when the kid goes over the fucking hill into whatever the water in his wheelchair, that's what happens to Nana. Just poof. And then you don't see what happens to her. She just gets fucking 86'd over a supposed cliff in the suburbs.
Right. And
Which is
then,
weird because they don't show a cliff anywhere.
But
No.
then she appears in the basement, not fucked up, just dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just dead and bloody though.
Bloody.
Not like crushed anything.
No.
No.
Yeah, she's just like got a bunch of strawberry syrup all over.
Right.
Yeah.
So funny.
So then
Scissor.
blah blah blah. So she ends up in the basement.
That sounds like what the script said. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
She
blah,
ends
blah,
up in the basement.
And then this is where this is where the big reveal comes in. And so the lady's like, "Oh,
My
I had
son."
a child and I wanted a daughter."
So he's now dickless.
Snip, snip,
Um,
motherfucker.
Yeah. So
Well,
she eunuched her
but then-
own fucking son.
Here's the thing.
And then
'Cause she
blamed
wanted a girl.
and then blamed her husband who was cheating on her and was like, "Who would it nobody believed him, but they believed me."
Yeah,
Right.
somehow.
I
Even though, like, the son could
No.
have just been like, hey, yeah, my mom chopped off my shit.
But he
Right.
was a baby.
Oh, I thought it was.
Oh,
only
yeah,
his
no.
older.
No, she
Oh,
brought
She
him
brought him home from
for
the hospital and did it.
Ew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super ew.
Yeah. Very you. But also,
That kid would have died easily.
what in the world were they? What was the whole point of putting that one guy on the table and bringing home all the dicks?
So, yeah, like, it was
Were
like
they
he was
gonna,
going to
like,
reattach him. That's
sew
why.
a bunch of dicks on him? Were they
Yeah.
gonna?
So a bunch of dicks on him. I got him on my knees now.
I got him on my face. I'm no longer dickless.
I
got
like,
so many
dicks on
dicks.
his nipples.
And
Dick
then maybe
nipples?
he was gonna take the vibrator and
He's
try
like-
that too.
He's like, it's fucking cold out, but in this case, it's like a fucking
me take
door
the
stop with a spring.
You know, when you get outside and it's cold and the
Yeah.
nips get hard. the dicks get hard.
I got dick nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
That would have turned. That would have turned this film 180 on its
Oh,
head,
yeah.
for
Right,
sure.
right.
It
Oh
would've
yeah.
been-
If it would have been a horror comedy, I would have been all for it because then
Oh,
that would
yeah.
make sense of the inspiration of like Sleepaway Camp, which this fucking is.
Right.
Right.
So then the lady ends up killing the boyfriend that's on the table.
Right.
And then she's like
Then
and
has
then-
an orgasm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's just like,
And then-
oh, by the way, now the girl who's in the slutty costume was like she got out of the bondage and
dog
now she's in a
cage.
dog kennel.
A
In a slutty cop-
flimsy dog.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude,
with
Girl.
like you were saying, that's his sister, man.
and there's like a tie there's like a knot tied or whatever and
Yeah.
it's like you don't have fucking
Flimsy
hands.
strings.
Like, I'm sorry. If I were directing a horror film, I understand that, like, horror has a staple of, like, sexualizing women and all of that. Don't cast your sister as the lead actress. Don't put her in a slutty costume and put her in a fucking dog cage where her titties are all showing and she's all helpless in a cage.
Oh my god, it's so bad. The only thing I
Sir.
saw was like that she had straight up shorts on underneath, which is
which-
nonsensical. But obviously for the actress, they did that for her. But when she went ass over tin cups during a fight scene with the mom, which you could tell the actress works out.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And how is this fucking near geriatric woman who is obviously doesn't get up for much?
Right. Doesn't leave the house half
Yeah.
the time.
I like that scene where she's like all psycho talking to herself and she's like, you do this all the time and it makes me lose my appetite. I'm like, bitch, you haven't lost your appetite for a while.
Oh yeah, when like towards the beginning where she's like having dinner
Horrible,
with
Nick.
the
It's horrible.
mannequin.
Why did you say that?
Mannequins.
And
Honestly, I would have loved to just watch like more of her psychosis of
Yeah.
like talking
Mm-hmm.
to the mannequin. I thought that was pretty creepy.
You passed me around to all
Yeah.
those men. And then we saw this lipstick on the mannequins.
Oh, and the mannequins.
So it's like, wait, you've been imagining you're being passed around by an invisible Santa? What's going on here?
Right.
Oh.
What the fuck? Her psychosis is like deep.
It's a little wild. It's
Yeah.
a little wild.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
It's
Okay.
gross, man. This whole
Yeah.
film is like it's supremely
It's
on
very
the
icky.
premise is very gross.
yeah. And then the mom was gonna kill
the
son to
the
keep
killer.
her because they were
Right,
the
because
same
she
age.
now had the daughter or the girl that she could pretend is her daughter.
Right.
But then they tag teamed it.
Then she's being choked, and then she just sat back on the chair and then like did a sexy leg cross while
Like,
watching this woman get choked to death by this Santa
Hot.
eunuch.
And then he ends up taking off the mask.
Yeah. And then they wouldn't put it in focus because that's the other thing, dude. Man, there's so many things. Ugh.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure. So if you look up the guy who was the killer, he's definitely Hispanic.
Yeah.
Right? Which that would not and you can see it in the background, like he looks a little Hispanic, which doesn't make sense to the portrait of the little white girl on the wall.
Right.
Like, am I wrong?
No.
Or is that a wild
He stole the
take?
wrong kid and took his dick off.
No.
Dumbass.
And, I mean,
Like, what the shit, bro?
I mean, that would have been easily explained if they didn't have that white girl portrait on there, because they could have like had a family picture.
Fucking
and
white people,
had,
man.
You know, like
Just
a
doing crazy
Hispanic
shit.
with the mother, and then
Right.
it'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right. But like, what?
Yeah. And then and technically, if his father was Hispanic in some sort way, wouldn't
Right.
the girl, Rachel, be Hispanic as well, because that's her dad?
I'm just picturing like fucking Trump sitting there
Yes.
like Trump sitting there like, they're taking our kids too and replacing them with their kids. Like,
Oh no.
And then, of course, like, I think the last
It's
line
like
was
a weird
like,
version of Get Out.
bitch,
yeah.
let's bury her in the back. And that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah, like it just
Like they
ends up
did
with
her
them
mom.
like like her and this evil Santa eunuch totally being copacetic and fine. She's like hanging up the picture of the daughter
Right.
or whatever.
Even though this man killed all of her friends.
yeah, and
Right,
she almost got
She's
killed
like,
by him.
okay, I'll forgive you.
Yeah,
And her ex-boyfriend.
Actually,
Yeah.
the mama did that.
that's true.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But
Well, either way.
anyhow.
Anyway. Yeah. So.
All right, let's
All right,
get into it.
screenplay. I gave it a 1. See, Nick, this is a 1 material.
There was a beginning, middle, and end. So applying my rule, it's a 5. No, it's
I gave it
Just
a
to piss you
3 because it had at least a beginning, middle, and end. It went, I mean, like it was in order. It wasn't like, you know what I mean?
there was a premise in there somewhere.
It-
Yeah.
I gave it a 2.
If
And
it was better written, I think it would have been a higher up score. Would it have been a 10? Probably not.
no, and here's the thing. To the prior film's credit, everything was executed immensely well. The fact that it was rehashing a lot of stuff that's already been done was the annoying part. This tried to do that too, in a way, with like the sleepaway camp premise where the person, instead of an aunt, it's a mother, and instead of her saying you're going to act like a girl and everything's there, it's like, no, I'm going to chop your penis off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, this is it's terrible. 2.
Horrible.
Direction.
I gave it a 3.
Also a 3.
Gave it a 4 only because of, I mean, some of the acting was okay, but the screams were crap.
They
Like,
were.
It wasn't realistic. So,
No.
but like some of the lead actresses, the final girl was all right. I mean,
Right. That's why I gave acting a 4. Like I went
Yeah.
up. 'Cause
Yeah, I was
lead
gonna say
actress
5.
Was,
Yeah.
she was all right. I kind of liked the crazy mom. I thought she was all right in some
Yeah.
scenes. You know.
Yeah.
she gets a
She-
kiss
Yeah, she gets a kiss
for this one.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that.
That's why I'm doing it.
I don't.
It's all right.
You passed me around to the. So
Yeah, I mean, I give it a 4 as well because, I mean, there was definitely a lot of flaws in it, especially like with like the kills beforehand where like nobody screamed. And to be honest, like even when the other girls were getting killed, they weren't screaming shit either.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of liked the oh my gosh, the one chick that got killed that was running around in the woods. I thought she did a fine job.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, still overall. Ugh.
Yeah, and
Shudder.
it was pushing it to get to a 5, but I gave some credit where credit's due, the mom and the lead actress.
Right.
And to be honest, too, Ashley, Rachel, the character, whatever,
Yeah.
she was sick the whole entire 7 days of filming.
Yeah, that's right. It was just a
Wow.
little bit over 7 days. That's that's what I was going to ask you. Hey, did you check out the fun facts on this
Yeah.
thing?
Damn.
But
Only
a-
7 days, huh?
But like Ashley just had a severe cold, and she like
Well, you know, the other thing
couldn't
that
tell.
made sense about like the time frame when they filmed it in July is the fact that I was like, wow, they're so shiny with their makeup and everything. And I was like, oh, it's because
They're
it's
sweating their balls off, probably.
Yeah. Cinematography, I gave a 4 because there was I mean, some shots were good, but other times I was like,
I
dude,
gave
there's
it
a
a-
lot of basic mistakes here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gave it a 3.
Same. For those reasons.
Right.
Really.
Yeah. The lighting was killing me. Some of it was like, oh, you did it. And other times I'm like, why did you just put a spotlight on them?
There was like some really nice tight shots, but I think that was overall it really wasn't.
In the beginning, there's too
Amazing.
many of them. That was the thing that's driving me nuts. And then I like that shot though with the mom, the psycho mom, where she was like, they go to the door, she answers the door, and it's got this weird upward angle. I'm like, that was creative. That was
Yeah.
good. That was good.
Yeah.
I also liked the part, and I know you kind of critiqued on that part before, but like prior to the dinner part, like they had faded out the mannequin, and it looked like she was walking towards her, like, so you're like confused and you're like, what the fuck? And then it angles back or whatever, and then you see that it is the mannequin.
But it's
Yeah.
not a smooth transition either. It's like a
Oh yeah,
Crank,
that weird
crank.
crank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of using like, it looked like they actually cranked the lens itself and used the focus on the lens itself instead of using an actual turn knob or using a focus puller. Yeah, dude, invest a little bit more money. That up there is what that knob on the thing. I'm pointing at the shoulder rig, and there's like a knob with a white disc around it. That will allow you to do that smooth transition. That's why I'm like, that's only $110 that whole thing.
well,
So on
Fine.
sale, I think it's 160 regular, but yeah, you can fucking afford it back then. I mean,
Right.
that's when I bought that. I think that was only like 3 years after the fact. I don't know.
anyhow.
No excuses.
Editing 4.
2.
Honestly, I gave it a 7. The reason why is because it was paced how they wanted it to. I thought it was too long in the tooth, but I blame that on screenplay.
I knocked off points because like it wasn't consistent throughout the shots. Like there was a one shot where she was wearing high heels and then flats and then high heels.
Oh,
all of a
that's
sudden.
Oh, yeah.
that was
And
just
then-
directing to me.
I feel like that's also editing. on it.
editing. Yeah, I
You can.
used it more under editing because like with editing you need to make sure it's consistent or whatever.
Well, so
It's a little bit of both, I think.
Cinematography. Well, so okay, are you saying it shouldn't have been in the shot because that'd be cinematography?
Ooh, here's cinematography.
Either one. I mean,
Because editing, all they do is
both.
I don't know who did it. Usually on a small budget film like this, the cinematographer is the editor or the director is the editor. But like they just get the film, whatever they got, they try to cut it up to where it makes still sense and it has a good flow and whatever.
Which it did, like I feel like towards the end after they did the nonsense killing of the other people, I feel like after that point it did flow a lot better, but them just back and forth like, you know what I mean?
the killing
Yeah.
of the random people, like there was just no point to it. And again, that could also be attributed to screenplay, but like
Dick
I don't
collection.
Be like
again, for what?
like like I could see also like if the people that were being killed were like did the person wrong or some shit like that.
Yeah.
But like, and I understand why he went after the 3 girls in the house because they were in the house in her or his house or whatever. So I could see that, but it was like the other kills were just like, why the hell are you targeting these people?
Yeah, it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
yeah,
Why those people specifically?
right.
And also, like, if they showed it like, oh, they're down the street, if they're on the street, then maybe okay. Because then when we were talking about how she should just go to another house, well, maybe she couldn't because they were dead.
Kind of want to make a horror comedy
But we
now
don't
called.
We'll never know.
Right.
Kind of want to make a horror. I kind of want to make a horror comedy called Saint Dickolas, and he just goes around
Taking people's beanies.
Yeah, and there's like a final guy instead of a final girl.
Yeah.
It's like a guy exploitation or whatever.
Yeah. You could do it.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Ooh, could do an
win a lot of
LGBTQ
awards.
thing, you know?
We love it.
A lot of, he's targeting like gay guys and like, get away. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right.
Anything to make this better. I'm just trying to throw some ideas out there, guys.
I hope they stick.
Yeah.
Like those weenies to nipples.
It's cold out. Baby, it's cold outside. Special effects, I gave a 3 because it was just a lot of just
Same.
fake ass blood.
Fake blood. The weenies at the end. And what were those? Little white.
It looked like really cheap
Something?
dildos. Really,
Who?
really, really cheap.
I couldn't even make them out. They looked like little worms in there.
So, yeah.
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 I gave it a 5 because it was all practical, and like when you were stabbing him, like aside from like the one with the chick with the red dress, like you could obviously see like
Her neck.
the neck
yeah.
coming off or whatever.
Yeah.
But the other ones, like
They did look pretty seamless.
they did look pretty seamless.
Did you guys catch the
No.
one where it went through the head and like the angle of this was different from the angle through here?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, the garden shears were just way off.
Yeah. Well, and also the size of them were not
Yeah.
big enough to go straight through the head and poke out as much as they were at the top. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then, like you said, like some of the blood just looked like car oil just
Yeah.
running down. I was like, what the hell is that?
40
mean-
weight.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Anyhow.
But overall, I give it a 4.
4.
3.
Skip.
Skip. It's not worth it.
Thanks, Jamie. Who also is a character in this.
Yeah. The
Maybe that's
murderer.
why she liked it,
Yeah.
because
The
she was a
murderer.
murderer.
Yeah, Jamie.
We're all disappointed.
She give you good ones, Jamie.
This is how you treat your friends, huh? Just giving us these kind of recommendations.
She's like rubbing her hands together at home, like, I made him watch a horrible movie.
This is the second night in a row she did that to us.
Wow.
Yeah. First on the
Sucks to
podcast.
Sucks to suck for you guys. This is why when people recommend things to me, I go, okay, and then I don't watch it.
For real, man. This is bad.
Like, I wish I was kidding.
I mean, is a
Unless
cool
it's-
cat bad? No.
No.
I would much rather watch Last Christmas 5 times
Yes.
than
Well,
this.
yeah, because Last Christmas was good.
It.
Last Christmas.
I guess it just annoyed the hell out
gave
of
you
me.
my heart. The very next day, you gave it away.
Maybe it's because the whole thing was like, we don't own it, so don't keep singing it. For the love of God, we don't own the song. Stop singing it. We can get in trouble.
Come at me, bro. No, don't. I don't have
You know,
any.
you
Hold
charge-
on, scratch that, scratch that.
Edit it
I have
out.
nothing to give you.
Allegedly, we were singing it.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna
There's
know.
no alleged. You're-
Who's gonna know?
It's funny, like on Shudder,
They're not gonna
they'll be
know.
like, "Can we sing that?" They're like, "No, we can't afford it."
Okay, so edit this out. And edit me out saying edit.
I expected like a few lyric, but it kept on going. I'm like, stop.
I forgot.
I like to sing.
Then you should
What
stop
can you
us.
say? What can you not?
You can't really do
There's
that.
there's like rules and regs,
Copyright.
because then it'd be like you're doing a cover and you weren't allowed to do the cover and blah 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 blah.
Boo.
Especially if we monetize,
Boo.
then they'll claim
Get
like, yeah,
famous.
it's all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But now I got to edit this, so thanks.
You're welcome. Karaoke.
But anyway,
Final thoughts.
yeah,
Last Christmas reigns supreme.
I still like mixed nuts better than all of them. I really do.
Oh, makes sense.
I'm not saying it's a masterpiece by any stretch of the imagination, but I just
We really went with some winners this time around. We said, let's watch some Christmas movies. Again, the good, cozy times.
I blame her because we were on the same page, and Samantha decided to pull out this recommendation from somebody else, and it was just
Think of
like,
a movie.
You don't
Just
have any
kidding.
cozy Christmas picks? I was honestly thinking Scrooged, too.
Well-
Yeah, there's a good one. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows about Scrooged, but
Yeah,
still.
I was trying to think of a different one, and I was thinking about like Christmas horror stories, but then I'm like, I always watch that movie. I wanted to watch something different that I'd never seen before, and I fucked up. So I apologize.
We should have watched Krampus again. I know you guys have already seen it this year,
It's
but
fine.
Yeah, I'm all
It's-
down for that.
so good.
All right. Well, that being said, on this long, lengthy episode, 2 hours and
Quiet
18 minutes and
We're
counting.
all through the house.
Yeah. Another
We
creature was
all-
stirring. Not even a dick.
Fucking cried.
Fucking cried.
Bye bye, dicks.
All right.